We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach in the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't gonna play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about, and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
We're waiting.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, it's fine. We can just hang out here for a little
I
bit.
had about 2.5 hours to do this, but I got to finish up now.
It's okay. Do you want?
How's your day, Christian?
It was good, man. I didn't go on vacation today, so that's big for the program, apparently.
Having to save up the fund again.
No, dude.
Gotta rejuvenate the
Yo,
traveling
that's
fund.
crazy.
My parents pay for all the vacations, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Big Daddy's money, guy.
Yeah, dude.
That's nice.
I come from money.
Yeah. The Danger Ranger always said that. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening here in the fine month of July. A bit of a cool spell right around the state of Georgia as of late.
Really?
Bro,
Low
it's 80.
90s.
It's 85.
That's a cool spell.
Yeah, low 90s, late July. That's breezy.
Summer's the
breezy.
Summer's the worst season ever.
You
Just has
bunch of
good
pansies.
PR.
Normally this time of the year, we are heat indexing 105. Like heat indexing 104.
All I know is
this
that
is soft.
All I know is that when I walk to the mailbox, I still sweat. It don't matter what the temperature says.
If it hurts to hold on to my steering wheel for more than 3 seconds, it's too damn hot.
Hey, we had another film study hit the timeline today. We got the cliff notes on that one today. Clemson's loser ways getting fixed by way of a fabulous new rule today. Dabo Swinney said we're all going to die, so that'll be interesting. Kentucky just pulled the plug on their entire football program. Real theme here. A lot of negative notes on today's show notes. There's an insane NIL report that I want to talk about today. One of these reports that goes back to our transparency discussion of like, I'm going to talk about something tonight that, as someone who has studied college football and covered it as closely as anybody possibly humanly can over the last 7 years, I'm as bamboozled and confused as a human can possibly be about the sport that I cover. So we'll talk about that tonight. Kayden D'or has a type, and I'm excited to talk about it tonight as well. We got 110s making a return tonight as well. We're going to talk about South Carolina. But I want to open the show by continuing our conversation yesterday about recruiting. I asked you guys, how do I go about recruiting moving forward, considering the way things have been going as of late? Guys swinging in late, big-time bag offers, winning recruits over at the last moment. First and foremost, I want to reiterate here on the channel something that Greg Sankey actually opened his SEC Media Day discussions with, just about like, I definitely think we have a flawed sport, but we don't have a broken sport. Like, there's a lot of negativity about our sport right now, and there's a lot of things that we want changed, and a lot of tweaks that we want made, but like, the product on Saturday and the product that we love that is college football, I still think is a very unique and beautiful product, okay? Not to get romantic about what it is, but I feel like the offseason we do a lot of complaining about the problems that are on in this sport. We don't do enough about loving up the sport that we all love, because we do all love it. There are some things that need to get tweaked, though, and I do think we're going to continue to move forward in the right direction in terms of tweaking those things. But in terms of the recruiting discussion, how do we go about covering recruiting moving forward? I'll tell you this much. Intel is dead nowadays. All right, I can't tell you how many times I get what I think is a very firm, solid piece of information about a recruit, and it changed within days, changed within hours, changed within minutes, it seems, because a new offer has been made or a new, term sheet has been offered and put in front of that young man. So, like, these things are more fluid. They've always been fluid, but they're more fluid than ever. And the idea of predicting where a kid's going to go is just speculation nowadays. It's not like it was 5 or 6 years ago where you actually could get some type of intel on who's winning the relationship, where the person feels that, or where the recruit feels that they have the best fit, or where they might, get along with the coaching staff. All that's blown out of the window nowadays. It's very minute to minute, phone call to phone call type of intel. So it makes the recruiting intel or where this guy is going type of deal very, very hard. So moving forward, what we will do, because we got your feedback yesterday, and your feedback was simple. Stop telling us where they might go. Just tell us who they are and what they are, right? Tell us what kind of football player they are. This place is unique for that, uniquely gifted at that, I should say. So that's what we'll do from now on. We'll just evaluate. We won't speculate, because that's what it is. I just told you. Recruiting predictions, recruiting SSM, sliding scale majiggies, as we call them. You're just speculating, okay? Because it's subject to change very, very soon, and could change by the end of your own phone call that you just got that information from. So evaluation, no longer speculation on this network. We good with that?
Yeah,
I do
think that's fair.
I do think it is interesting, though, because you are right. The speculation aspect of it is so fluid nowadays that you can't even give good intel out. Fans still want that, whether they admit it or not. There's numerous times where we'll be talking about something and someone will pop up in chat, hey, what's going on with so-and-so's recruitment? What's the latest details to develop? So I think fans complain about it, but deep down they still want it. So.
Still garnering or searching for the information.
I think that the easiest way to do that now is, hey, yeah, Georgia's in the mix. They got a chance. They're in the Final Four now. They're amongst the finalists. We'll see what happens. Great football player, though. This guy is going to be great no matter where he goes. But, yeah, Georgia's in the mix. Like, it feels like the best way to go about this, because it is so fluid, like you mentioned, and, like, news changes so late and so frequent now.
Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate and review. And we are on the doorsteps of that 50,000 subscriber mark. Been knocking out some film studies as of late. Y'all letting that Whit Weeks film study flop right about now. I'm going to sell you on it a little bit later with some Spark Notes on it. So I hope you go support the channel by watching that, at least hitting it with the thumbs up after you hit the thumbs up on this video, and watch us the rest of the night. After 50K, right up to 100K. We ain't even going to milestone stop at 75K, boys. Okay. We're not even going to acknowledge it. Oh, big deal, 75K. See me at 100K. That's what we're going to do.
See me at $1 million. How about that?
Hey, $1 million ain't bad. I think that's probably shooting for Saturn, not even the moon.
How many YouTubers have 1 million subscribers on the platform?
I don't know. Only the ASMR folks, I would imagine, and the Paul brothers.
Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we need to talk about Jeff Brom more.
Yes. Just stage Jeff Brom segments every national
episode,
hour,
so he can whisper into the mic.
It's not a bad bit. I think they would get kind of tired of it pretty quickly, though. Did y'all see this A&M report?
I did see this. This is
I caught the
I'll let you know about this when you got in today, huh?
Yeah.
This was crazy to me. Not crazy to me. And look, I want to get out front of this because we just got done doing an Aggie film study, so there are probably some Aggie folks watching us tonight, and I am not crapping on you and your university. So do not think that this segment is me using you as a bad example and pointing a finger going, ha-ha, nana, boo-boo, look at A&M. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm doing is asking a question by form of a segment, okay? So there was a report today in On 3 that Texas A&M in the last athletic calendar year of 2024 to 2025, the season of that year, they spent $51 million on name, image, and likeness. In other words, they paid their athletes $51 million to be Texas A&M Aggies this year. Now, I asked the audience. I know everybody's glued into football, and they're glued into basketball, and they're glued into baseball. But how many national titles you think Texas A&M won last year across all sports?
Gotta have been at least like 1 or 2.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 maybe, right? There's a bunch of sports.
Law of
like
average SEC program.
Yeah, 0. Exactly 0, okay? They spent $51 million to be slightly above average in every sport. And this is the same athletic world that's telling me all of these schools are about to have to get under $20.5 million of a rev share salary cap. Somebody make it make sense. You know what I mean? Somebody make it make sense. Now, what you will tell me today is you will say, but Brooks, okay? Now, some of these players, it's not all rev share that they're going to get this money out of, right? If they made $51 million, well, 20.5 of it's going to come from rev share. So what you're now telling me is that A&M's athletic department's got to go find $30 million of real marketing deals that can go pass through Deloitte? The math ain't mathing to me. That's what's so confusing. I appreciate the fact that we are efforting to put rules into regulations and all that good stuff. I appreciate the fact that we are efforting. I just don't know how any of this makes sense to me.
Yeah. I will, to save you scrutiny from Texas A&M fans, they did win the 2025 outdoor track and field title for men's.
Okay, so ChatGPT lied to me.
So one.
Google AI lied to me.
I was going to say, like, they didn't even catch
Outdoor
a dub in
track.
cross country or something.
They won the
track.
But no, the point you're making still stands. If you're spending that much money and that's the return,
I mean, even if they won 17 national titles, I don't give a damn. The $51 million, how are y'all going to cut $30 million?
Yeah, that's
how are y'all going to find $30 million of passable, marketable deals? Because that's what they told me. They told me after $20.5 million, if you're paying an athlete north of $600, it's got to go through NIL Go. It's got to go through Deloitte. So you telling me they got to pass $30 million worth of money through Deloitte, and that's A&M. I can't imagine what Texas's payroll looks like. I can't imagine what Georgia's payroll looks like. I can't imagine what Ohio State's payroll looks like. It's just so confusing.
Well, I think that, especially today, like when this report comes out from Ross Dellinger that now NIL collectives can act as businesses, so that would assume to me that that is passable income now because it's a business giving business opportunities, I would assume, to athletes. So just filter it through the
So
NIL
basically
collective.
all House versus NCAA did was make schools give $21 million of their revenue to athletes, and then we just piled the collective money on top of it. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what it sounds like. And now we
sure
have
shit what it sounds like to me.
And now we have Deloitte that, I guess, polices it.
I'm going to tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be college athletes taking a pay cut.
No.
You ain't going to open Pandora's box and then 2 years later talking about, oh, no, we're going to put a cap on you, which is what the president's already said. He's weighing in. I know we don't do politics on this network, but we have a president of the United States weighing into college athletics. So it's fitting to get real hairy. And I don't even know how we talk about that, but he's basically come out and said that, like, hey, we got to put some limits on this. We can't be having college kids make this much money.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. If you got some dummy willing to pay you, they're willing to pay you. Anybody willing to overpay me, please come on. And you listen to this today, anybody willing to overpay you, you're going to feel the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird.
It's a very interesting situation that you find yourself in because I agree that, there's nothing wrong with paying players as much as they're worth. I think the problem that intrinsically lies in is that you have X amount of programs that can pay players whatever they want.
Yeah.
They get all the good players. They win all the games. It creates a competitive advantage to the point where we think that expanding playoffs is somehow going to be the one thing that fixes that. So, and then that starts a whole nother debate to where you have just this big fat jumbled mess of college football right now.
I mean, there has to be some type of threshold on this, or else we end up having what happened to Major League Baseball in the 90s or in the 80s where
The holdout,
the Yankees just win everything. They just constantly win. Now, there's no salary cap in baseball now, but there's like 12 of these owners that are doing this now in Major League Baseball, one of which is the Dodgers manager.
Right.
So, and I think they actually have some salary cap tax, don't they?
Yeah.
They go over a certain threshold.
A luxury
they have to
tax.
Pay, pay a luxury tax. Which maybe that's the rule here.
That might be an avenue.
I think that's more of – because, look, I am not going to be somebody to tell a college football fan base or booster base, hey, stop being so passionate, stop giving your money. If you want to give your money to college football, go ahead and do it. I do think there needs to be some type of threshold, though.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be playing in the same region or ballpark, or else we just have competitive disadvantages.
Well, maybe we'll just get to a point, too, where we just defer the money like the MLB does. You just defer all the money like, oh, yeah, we're going to give you this $4 million contract.
Put it in a trust.
Little Bobby Bonilla
and we'll just pay you this until 2037.
Is Bobby Bonilla Day about to be done? It's got to be
There's
close.
a few more years, I think.
A few more?
Yeah.
That's going to be a sad day for the aggregators.
Yeah.
You know? The Bobby Bonilla tweet, it's Bobby Bonilla Day, was the original, we're just going to regurgitate a tweet that went viral.
Well, it'll just turn into, all right, now it's Juan Soto Day, or now it's Shohei Ohtani Day.
Have you noticed that, though, about social media?
Yeah.
As of late, where it's like you see the same viral tweets going viral all the time?
You got to play the hits.
I guess. Speaking of NIL, did you see that Kentucky took their football program out back and shot it in the face?
Sure did.
Yeah, I mean.
I know this might sound a little bit exaggerate, but that's what they did.
Well, maybe
just
I
like
wouldn't say shot in the face. Cut its legs off.
Shot it in the leg?
Cut its legs off.
Femoral artery?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's grim.
Might have to reach down there and plug it. That kind of thing.
Good Lord, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a staunch blow.
So for those of you who don't know, every SEC program and anybody who gives a damn about college football in Power 4 athletics has already come out and said they're going to allocate about 16 of the $20 million in rev share. That really doesn't mean a whole hell of a bill or anything, apparently, was what we got done talking about. They're going to allocate 16 of the 20 directly to football. Kentucky came out today and said they're allocating 45% of the rev share moving forward directly to basketball. That's about $9.5 million straight to basketball, which I've come to the two takes. One, this was probably the reality of Kentucky athletics and recruiting and resources in general in terms of the resource split at that program.
Yeah.
Basketball is the king there. So when you're a football coach there, you're already playing with a short deck anyways. That confirmed that to me, one. But the other thing, I don't think there's ever a world, unless you just repeat multiple 4-8 seasons, that you can ever let go of a football coach that wants to be there. And I told you guys this show, and you pushed back on me, and I understand why. But here's the deal. Your Kentucky football now, there is no way you're getting any football coach to take that job that actually wants to be there. Every coach that's going to take that job moving forward has either failed down to that point, looking to move back up, or is a young football coach looking to use you as a 3-year stopgap and leave you. For example, if they go 4-8 this year, fire Mark Stoops, let's say they hire Buster Faulkner. Buster Faulkner spends 3 years there. By year 3, he's won 10 games. Do you think he's still at Kentucky? No, I don't. I think he's at a bigger job. I think he's leaving them. And Mark Stoops is a football coach that's already done this. He won 2 10-win seasons, 2 out of 4 seasons at Kentucky, and didn't leave. Never left. I don't think you can fire this guy. If you're going to openly talk about how you don't care about football as much as anybody else in the conference, you can't be firing football coaches that average 7 wins at your program. You can't.
I think you also, though, are getting into a territory where you may not even be at a point where you can be a stepping stone, because why would I want to risk the future of my career, my coaching career, if I'm Buster Faulkner, to continue with that example of I'm going to go to a program where majority of the assets are allocated to basketball. I'm putting myself in jeopardy of either shortcutting myself and my call in my head coaching career. Like, this might be it. This might be a hard stop for me. I'll go back to being an OC. Yeah. Like, it may not even be good enough to be a stepping stone at that point. You may only get guys that want to be there.
I mean, the unfortunate reality for Kentucky football, and this was the case long before NIL, long before rev share was everything, was they were second-class citizens to the basketball program. So, I mean, they always technically could have been the stepping stone for a coach. Now, It's fortunate for them that Mark Stoops was kind of the outlier to this and actually stayed there. He's the longest tenured coach of the SEC. But whether or not he has a 10-win season this year or goes 4-8, we're reaching the latter years of the Mark Stoops experience. Like, he's got 2 or 3 seasons left, regardless of record, before he retires, in my opinion. So I think it's either way. Like, no matter what happens here, you are going to become that stepping stone for the whatever coach, simply because Mark Stoops isn't going to be there forever. It's not like he's a up and coming coach that won two.
You're on a good point here, Kirby. It's a moot point anyways because of the contract extension a couple years ago. He's going to ride out in the sunset at Kentucky anyways.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I guess the point moving forward is that at Kentucky, you better, if a coach shows you that he wants to be there, you can't get rid of him unless it's just atrocious. I mean, we got to talking about it before the show. Are they the 15th best program in this conference? Are they the 15th best coaching job?
Only ahead of Vanderbilt?
Only ahead of Vanderbilt.
They're lobbying for it.
The only other argument is maybe Mississippi State. Is Mississippi State a worse job? And we all agreed Mississippi State's a better job because of proximity to talent. And the idea that if there ever was a need for one financial push into a team, you're going to get it at Mississippi State on the football team. You're second-rate citizens at Kentucky.
Kind of, maybe.
I mean, Kirby, to be fair, our answer to this question has already been proven. Who's the most recent to be number one in the nation in the AP poll? Mississippi State.
Yeah, but who's had more consistent top 10 rankings?
Ooh.
Neither.
Kentucky.
You think so?
Kentucky was ranked in the top 10 in 2018. They were top 15 in 2021. Like, they've put together some good squads. They've had, like, really good seasons. Now, it's washed in with a lot of 7-5s and 4-8s sometimes. But I think the more consistent program has been Kentucky. Like, the AP poll number one for Mississippi State, that was 11 years ago now.
Says, did Brooks forget Stoops left A&M until A&M backed out? I'm very up in the air on this one because you read A&M folks, they were never truly interested. That was fake news. The agent just leaked that to get an extra contract out of it. You talk to Kentucky folks, they wanted him gone. You know, it's very the reporting on that is very up in the air. What was y'all's take on it? The A&M leakage.
Oh, I mean, we're talking.
Do you think he wanted to take that job?
I think
I didn't think that was as much of a. I thought that was closer to a John Gruden situation where every year John Gruden's up for a job just so he can get a new pay raise.
I think it was lobbying on both
that
sides.
More so than they did the who was Buddy from Rutgers, Greg Schiano.
Oh,
You know,
I think
they didn't Tennessee Schiano this guy.
I think that was
at
two
A&M.
parties
I didn't
where
think.
Mark Stoops is saying, you know what, I can go get a nice big contract at Texas A&M if I want Kentucky, and Texas A&M saying, you know what, we can go get Mark Stoops if we want to. So I think it was a play on both sides, but I don't know if there was ever a world where both teams were or both parties were serious about joining. But again, it's a moot point.
You're telling me I'm supposed to believe the A&M fan base set itself on fire for hiring Mark Stoops potentially, but we're totally swallowing the pill on Mike Elko from Duke?
Hey, again,
You know what I mean? One of them's cough medicine and the other one tastes like high C. That don't necessarily make sense to me. They're the same. They're the same person.
was that a shot at high C?
No, that was just a straight up reality. They're the same football coach to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they both took lesser than programs in their conference and made them 8-win programs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they are. So I think it's just, I don't know. Interesting. But back to the A&M discussion, it's nuts to me. They're going to have to find a way to cut $30 million out of their budget.
Allegedly.
Or the payroll, allegedly.
I mean, it's again, my prediction for the longest time has been this just all becomes an under-the-table operation like it was 20 years ago. And, yes, you still have the big players that are able to pay more for certain players simply because they have the bigger bags, but it's more hush-hush about to where we say, oh, as opposed to they're student athletes, you can't pay them now. There's a $20 million salary cap. They're not going over that, and then everyone deep down inside knows that rules are being broken. I think that's the world we're going to get back to in college football. Not necessarily like there's this rigid structure that everyone's following, but there's a fallacy of a rigid structure that keeps most people at bay and says, at least we have some semblance of consistency.
I want access to NIL Deloitte, and I want that thing ran like motherfucking spot track. That's what I want.
I don't know if that's
I was going to say
That's what I want. And until then, all we're going to get is this. Mm-hmm. All we're going to get is speculation and speculation and speculation.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting further and further away from that being a potential of where we go back to hush-hush money. I think that, again, I think you get too far down the road at some point to where that doesn't even feel like an option anymore. It is to the point where, you're just going to have to do something like Spot Track where you get to see what everybody is making. And then maybe there are some under-the-table deals, but, like, again, and like when you tell me that NIL collectives are acting as businesses and that allows you to not wash money, but that's what it sounds like to me, is that you're able to filter that through an NIL collective, and now it's clean money under Deloitte because it's through a business and there's means to the money. Like, why do we have to be hush-hush about it? You don't have to anymore because, again, you can just filter it. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, I don't even know if he's listening today, but the first person in my life that was like, hey, you know that rev share is just going to be an additive to the pot that's already happening right now. And I bucked them every time. I was like, no. This Deloitte company's they're legit. They're going to be able to do this. And they're going to govern this. It was Jamie Goodman. So shout out to you, Jamie. You were right. It's all just one big pot now. They're just going to take that NIL money and they're going to get this rev share money. And now we got football rosters. They're probably going to be about $35 million. And your backup safety's going to be taking a pay cut when he's playing CFL football.
I mean, it's the can of worms that you open.
It is. I did a Whit Weeks film study today. Speaking of opening worms. I don't know if that's a transition. Does that work? Doesn't. Tremendous athlete. Now, I did this to Jonathan today, and he fell for it. So let's see if I can do it to you, Kirby. If I just called you and said, hey, I got a 6'2" white linebacker, wears a cowboy collar, and he's number 40, how would you stereotype that Mike linebacker's play style?
Oh, that's Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah, he downhill. He's striking. He's tough in the box. Maybe a Nick Skowski type football player.
Ooh, James Skowski.
Yeah,
that's
like
a pull.
James Skowski type football
Mr.
player.
Targeting himself.
Yeah, that's the kind of football player I thought I was going to go watch on tape. No, sir. This is an athlete. Whit Weeks is like a crazy athlete. Like, Kayden Lee, an 800-yard slot receiver that's 5'11", 180 pounds. He's in the slot right now. Doesn't matter. I'm going to disguise zone coverage and then turn and run man-to-man with this guy. Like, he is such an elite athlete that the lunatic that is Blake Baker gets to be even more lunatic, even more of a lunatic because he's so versatile. They get to be so much more exotic because of him. It was really, really fun to take another look at the other side of the ball. I called this guy a 53.5-yard linebacker.
Oh.
53.5. He covering it. He going to run it down. Now, I'm going to tell you this. My man Weeks, now he played at like 225 last year. Knee injury in the bowl game. Ankle
Dislocated
injury.
ankle.
Foot. Okay, ankle. So probably didn't have the offseason in the weight room that we normally would have if we were 100% healthy. Got to get bigger and stronger and tougher in the box. Not tougher, wrong word. Stronger in the box. Got to be firmer, all right? And got to stop hopping around. There's still room for growth here. But, man, did I love watching that tape today. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I think I like a good change-up every now and then in the film that we look at, like because, again, we've been doing a lot of quarterbacks this offseason, and we never really go on the defensive side of the ball and, like, just kind of spotlight one specific person, like, let's go watch them. So I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Folks in the chat talking about Chase Calakut. Give us 30 minutes. We're going to open the local hour with our comments and thoughts on that situation.
My question for the Whit Weeks thing.
What's up?
Is that skill set that translate to the NFL, your opinion?
Yeah, no,
or
he's a Sunday guy.
That's a good college linebacker.
No, he's a Sunday guy.
Nice.
Good college linebackers are guys that don't have the athletic traits. You know, they're not great movers. They can't cover the 53.5. This guy does stuff in the passing game that I think will have him playing on Sundays for quite some time. Trying to think of a good white linebacker comp. I can't get him one.
Keekly?
No.
Too legendary?
That's way too good.
Paul Posluszny.
Don't even know who that is.
For the
Is that the
Jaguars.
dude from Penn State?
Yeah, he played for the Jaguars.
No.
The long hair.
Vander Esch is too tall. Vander Esch is almost like 6'5".
Vander Esch was
I don't
big.
think people realize that. That's a big dude. I'll think on it. The Braun dude from Philly's not white, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I'm not checking.
Paul Worlow.
Don't remember his game either.
He was a linebacker for the Falcons.
Ryan
for a few
Kerrigan.
years.
Good shout. But Kerrigan, too much of a pass rusher for Weeks. Didn't Kerrigan get after the Q?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. So probably a little bit longer than Weeks.
He was bigger too, I believe.
Yeah.
He was a bigger guy. Damn, this feels like middle school lunch right now, just naming dudes.
Yeah, just naming white linebackers. AJ Hawk, too boxing, not a good enough
AJ
athlete.
Hawk's also like that's a different age of
Clay
football.
Matthews, too much of an edge rusher. Will Compton, not good enough.
Damn. Shout out Will Compton.
He might be watching. Who knows? Anyway, should we move on that? You should watch it. It's a good film study. There's that. You see Clemson's loser ways have been
The loser ways
have
is
been
crazy.
curtailed.
Loser ways is
ways.
kind of funny.
They are loser ways. Ain't nothing lamer than storming the field after beating Troy by 24 points.
Now, in defense of Clemson,
You're defending field storming after winning against mid-majors. That's what you're doing right now?
so there's field storming, and then there's going onto the field to join as a team and as a university to be together after a game.
To hold hands, kumbaya.
That's more what
So
I
they
think.
don't storm the field. They hold hands, prayer circle, kumbaya, so it's okay? It's
Similar.
not lame?
I feel like that's what it is. Like,
So they just get together and give a big group hug, and somehow that's less lame than if we labeled it storming the field after beating East Carolina at home.
it's high school as hell.
Okay.
But when we say field storming, my imagination is they're jumping the fences, they're jumping the bushes.
they are.
Everyone's running around. It's not that serious.
I'm sure they're allowed in. They don't have to jump things, but they storm it. They sprint the field. It's not like, hey, this is what we do every Saturday. This is like walking the kids out to run the bases after the Braves game. That's not what this is.
No, yeah. I mean,
This
you
is
got
field storming every time when they win by 35 at home against mid-major teams.
they do it when they lose too in their defense.
Really?
Every game.
That's even
They,
lamer.
they go onto the field every game.
All right, so either way, the ACC put in a rule today, $50,000 for storming the field the first time, $100K the second time, 200 racks the third time. You have to give, quote, I think the wording was, sufficient time for the opposition to get off of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is my belief that fine goes directly to the, quote, unquote, victims here, the team that was stormed.
The victims.
Is
yeah.
that correct?
I believe so.
So if you're Troy this year, do you have the special teams unit kind of camp out there? Maybe pick up that 50 racks.
The better
I mean,
play.
that's a new ice machine, in the weight room.
The better play would be every Troy fan says, "All right, we're gonna go to the local
We're gonna
bookstore.
storm it.
We're gonna get our Clemson
I like
shirts
this.
after we lose. You know what?
like
We're
this a
running
lot.
right onto the field.
I like this a lot.
Double agents.
Every time you travel for your team nowadays, you should buy at the school store the local team stuff in case you get beat, and then storm the field. Start a field storming mission. Almost like you think that's easier or harder to start the wave? Hey guys, we're gonna storm the field after this
Harder.
win, or hey guys, we're gonna start the wave. Which one's harder?
I'm gonna go easier.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get people to storm the field.
dude,
I don't
if
know.
a-
One's a felon. One you go to jail for.
Yeah, like, dude, it takes like a couple tries to get the wave going.
If a
Yeah.
student section sees 15 to 20 people rush onto the field, they are following. And then when that happens, you can't look. I'm sorry. The stadium event people are very nice. They work very hard.
A good 15, 20, passing it down.
Yeah,
Just open gates.
90
Y'all
of those
good.
people aren't stopping
No.
50,000 fans from storming the field. Because
And
look, once it
storming
happens,
the field's one of those things where it's like it really only takes one.
it's a sheep thing. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you say, "Oh, they're going," I don't want to be late.
Because it's not naked fan mid-quarter, mid-second
No.
quarter. This is like minute left on the clock. Obviously, we're about to win. I'm about to start the field storming.
You need any proof? Is go watch the Ole Miss game.
Yep.
Georgia lost to Ole Miss this year, and Ole Miss fans stormed the field with like 12 seconds left on the
But
clock.
this is next level heady play. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get a free 100 racks from Ole Miss because I stage a field storming.
You gotta lose too if you do.
That's
that,
what I'm
though.
saying. It's an only breaking case of glass emergency type of loss situation.
It's gonna happen. There's gonna be some crazy fan
The
base.
30 for 30 on that one. You think the guys that made the Catholic versus Convicts T-shirts went viral on the 30 for 30? Wait until the guy that stages a field storming to get 100 racks for his football team comes out. I'm front row.
Could you get in trouble for like inciting a riot?
Oh,
I mean, there might
doubt
be
it.
like legal
I
issues
doubt
going
it.
into this.
I doubt it. Inciting a field storming is not inciting a riot. Now, pitchforks and hand grenades.
I don't
maybe.
know.
I don't know. There was pepper spray at one. That wasn't a field storming, but
That was a brawl.
That was an all-out brawl in Michigan, Ohio State last year.
But imagine if you
So
got the
different.
fans involved with that.
Ooh. Good call.
I'm saying, dude, it could get dicey.
Could get dicey. Speaking of Clemson, Dabo said we're all going to die.
What?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah,
It's true.
Dabo said we're all going to die.
Dabo Swinney has a point, but
Now,
I'd like to hear
I'm
why
going to
he
read a
said this.
quote. You tell me if Dabo Swinney is talking about the rapture or if he's talking about college football. Quote, I could care less. I just stand here at the Clemson podium. That's where I stand. I'm just focused on the Tigers. I know everybody wants some kind of clickbait comment. I could care less. I mean, seriously, I really don't mean to be that disrespectful to anybody. I've said many times, it's a waste of my time anyways, because it's all going to blow up in a few years anyways. That's my prediction. We'll see, though, but who knows? That's what's going on and what people want.
Is he talking about the world or the conference?
My question, is he talking about the rapture or is he talking about college football?
I mean, Dabo Swinney is the most I'm talking about the rapture coach there is in college football right now.
I mean, this reads like a quote out of Genesis. I could care less. I mean, seriously, I don't mean to disrespect nobody, but it's going to blow up in a few years anyways. I don't worry about global warming. The whole thing's going to blow up anyways.
Yeah.
He's talking about college football expansion, by the way.
The earth reclaims us all.
He was asked about, 12, 14, 16. What's your opinion? Don't care. It's all blowing up. Now, what he's referring to when he says it's all blowing up, what do you think? My mind went immediately to one place, and it wasn't, indignation.
I think he's probably just talking about the ACC in general.
Yeah, I feel like it's talking about conferences are going to start going away.
I thought he was hinting towards Super League.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all going to blow up anyways, Super League. There are two football coaches, I think, outside of the Big Ten and the SEC, which, by the way, if those two teams or conferences were actually planning a Super League, those two conferences coaches would be sworn to absolute secrecy. Okay? Like, never to see the face of a sideline ever again if you talk about this type of stuff. So you'll never hear a comment about them ever alluding to a potential Super League, in my opinion. However, the two coaches outside of that conference that I think have the most, no matter what happens to me, they ain't firing me, I can say whatever the hell I want at this microphone type of status, there's only two of them. One of them's Dabo Swinney. The other one's Kyle Whittingham. I think Kyle Whittingham and Dabo Swinney can say anything that they want to at a microphone and no one's going to give a damn. They're not going to fire him. They're not going to be like, whoa, did he really just say that? They get to say whatever they want because they have that type of clout. They have that type of power at their university. Kyle Whittingham has been very open and adamant about speaking as if it's an inevitable Super League's on the way. Dabo Swinney, I think this is his first time that I've heard him kind of allude to this, that none of this matters. It's all getting blown up anyways. Now, he didn't say Super League. I did. I just told you. That's what I think he's alluding to. Do you think there's something about this? Like, those two coaches have all the all the autonomy in the world to say whatever they want. And they are very, very adamant about, we're going to Super League.
I don't know. The vagueness of the comments make it kind of questionable for me.
These are vague. Whittingham's are not.
Yeah,
Well,
Whittingham's
were
very.
very cut and dry Super League.
The only thing that I could think of is that, one, these are two successful head coaches. I mean, obviously, Kyle Whittingham is still relatively new to this, but, I mean, he just won the conference last year, made the college football playoff. But I think that maybe this is a way for them to be, like, I don't know, giving, like, warning shots or something like that of, like, telling their conferences, like, you better get your crap together or we're all going under, but we're not going under. We'll find a way to go into one of these other conferences and be a part of this Super League. I don't know I don't know.
I feel like Dabo Swinney's more alluding to the fact that, I mean, he's been at Clemson for, 15 years now. The amount of,
Has it been that long?
I mean,
it's got to be around
early
there.
2010s, yeah.
Yeah. Interim in 09.
Yeah, so I mean 15, 16 years. But like the amount of changes that he's seen in the sport just during his tenure have been so large to where it's like, why would I comment on this change that's going to affect the trajectory of the sport when in reality the next 4 or 5 years it's going to get blown up? Why would I comment on the 12-team playoff system when in the next 4 years it's going to become 16? Why would I comment on so-and-so joining this conference when we know in the next few years this conference is going to join this team? So.
Sound logic. I mean, you could apply that it's going to be blown up anyways to the college football playoff format, and which is what you're doing, I believe, right there. I tend to think he's talking about the sport in general, and everything in general because of how their program and university as a whole is acting in the laws or in the courts right now. This school is doing everything they can to get the hell up out of the ACC. Them in Florida State. Now, why would that be? It ain't just because of the TV deal. Now, that's a big reason. That's a primary reason, but if the Big Ten and the SEC do go about a Super League, there are some football-dependent universities that are going to be left out to dry that will not be happy about that.
I mean, it all lines up because there's so many conversations that when we start talking about college football, it immediately gets pushed up. Well, look at what the NFL is doing. I mean, Eli Drinkowitz did this at SEC Media Days when he's talking about the playoff and how I think it was like 44% of NFL teams get to be in the playoffs. We just did it a minute ago when it comes to paying players, contracts, spot track, getting to know what NFL players are making, NFL free agency, all that stuff. I mean, it's a Super League is the NFL where you're going to have two halves, and
It'll just be twice as big.
Yeah, and it'll be twice as big, but you're going to have two halves, and it's going to be the best teams in college football, or however you want to categorize. It's like every conversation that we have about college football, it doesn't immediately, but eventually you're going to get into a conversation about the NFL and how you're drawing similarities between the two.
18 teams in the Big Ten, 16 teams in the SEC. You would assume, what's that, 34?
Mm-hmm.
You would assume Clemson, Florida State, Notre Dame.
They'll find some way to get it up to 40, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do right there in my head. Get to
50,
40.
25.
Yeah. And then they'll say, okay, we'll play these relegation leagues. You can still play Appalachian State, and you can still play, these lesser teams and beat up on them. But the Super League is part of your division play. I mean, we're not going to map out what a Super League would look like, but college football is heading towards that.
College football has even aligned itself Super League-wise in its TV rights. There are only 2 TV broadcasters in this sport now, and it hasn't always been like that.
It hasn't?
I don't think so. Has it always just been Fox and ABC?
For national syndicates, yeah.
I thought for a while, there was smaller local stations that might be carrying TV.
There might
college football.
I mean, there might have been, but I feel like at that point, they weren't nationally televised.
I feel like they have further entrenched themselves in their alignments over the last 4 or 5 years.
Right? Wasn't it
for a fact the Fox is in bed with the Big Ten and that ESPN is in bed with the SEC.
That is
furthermore
very
than
true.
ever before in this
Very
sport.
true.
For sure.
There is definitely a sort of politics that goes on to it.
Yeah. Boy, Kayden D'or, he got a type. I love consistency. We love consistency around this network. That's what we talk about all the time. I just want you to be consistent. Show me some level of consistency. If you're consistent, I can predict your behavior. And when it comes to the quarterback position, my man Kayden D'or has himself a type. What is the type? Here's the type. Big, and he be throwing from the pocket. Okay? You can run, that's cool. But do you be throwing from the pocket? That's all Kayden D'or cares about. And I knew for a fact when I saw my man Jaden, is that his name? When I saw my man, Tayden. When I saw my man Kayden from Utah commit today, I knew for a fact before I even turned the tape on, I was about to watch 4 minutes straight of dimes from the pocket. And that's what I think we got on this tape. Is that what we got on this tape?
Oh, I didn't pull up tape. Give me a minute.
Oh, well, we'll pull up the tape.
I don't think
And
the
that's
monitor's
exactly what you're
plugged
gonna
in
see.
either.
The TV is not on either.
Oh, well, I'll plug that in too. So, have I been? No, we're good. I saw my man Jet Tamala, the commit that they flipped from Iowa State. I saw him at the Elite 11 this year, and he is this profile exactly. He is a big, physical pocket passer that is tremendously accurate from within inside the pocket. Serviceable athlete, not an ideal athlete, not like a great athlete, okay? I think the best athlete in the room in Tuscaloosa right now is probably Ty Simpson, maybe close second Keelan Russell. And I think most people are stereotyping there. Keelan Russell is a pocket passer. He's going to do a lot of his damage from within inside the pocket. I've said on this channel, I think he's a right-handed Michael Penix. I think that's what his ceiling will ultimately look like. But as we go to pull up this tape, all right, I'll go ahead and dump the take as to why we're even talking about this today. It's their second quarterback commit in this class. And the more and more I watch Kayden D'Or's decision-making process at the quarterback position, the more I come to this right here, all right? They were so uncomfortable last year as a coaching staff. They had no idea what to do with that quarterback because it's not a quarterback they ever choose to pick. And this is what I talked about last year going into the season. Hey, this is new to him. He's never had a mobile quarterback. Not only does he never have a mobile quarterback, he avoids them like the plague on the recruiting cycles. He does not want a guy that's first thought is to run. He wants a guy whose last thought is to run. So I'm watching this kid, and I'm watching the Jet Tamala kid, and I'm watching Keelan Russell, and I know what Will Rogers is, and I watch Michael Penix play, and I know what the Austin Mack kid is. And I just come to a realization today that not only were they completely uncomfortable last year, if I were a fan, if I carried fandom in my analysis, I would be fearful of what Alabama might actually become now that they have a quarterback that they actually want. Because I'm not saying he didn't want Milroe. He's just never, ever chosen one that looks like Milroe and plays like him. So let's go watch this. And I'm telling you, it's just going to be dots from the pocket. That's all it is. It's going to be 5 minutes of dots from the pocket. If we see the kid move at all outside of the pocket, it might be several minutes down into the film. This guy does not care if you're a great athlete. All he cares is, are you accurate from within the pocket? And can you play the position from within it? By the way, I haven't watched all 5 minutes. I watched about 90 seconds of it today. This is Austin Mack. This is what Austin Mack looks like. He's big, tall, physical. I mean, maybe slightly taller and not as thick. He's like 6'6", 225 instead of 6'5", 235.
Oh, he's running.
Oh, he's running.
Oh, shit, he's really running.
Laboring.
He's cribbing that.
No, he's not.
Oh, he didn't crib.
No, he's not. Okay? We are a pocket passing football program. That is a dot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
He's running again? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
High IQ.
High IQ. By the way, the Jet Tamala tape is almost identical. Same stuff. We're going to throw this ball. Yeah. We're not running. We're a serviceable athlete that wants to throw the football. Because we're a Washington, we're a Alabama, we're a Kayden D'or quarterback. That's what this dude recruits. Now, when you see this, guys, do y'all feel the same way I do? That they're going to be, by nature, a better offense this year because their coordinator and their head coach is going to be more comfortable?
I would say more consistent before I say better. The highs of Alabama's offense last year were very, very high.
You just described Jalen Milroe offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that is intrinsically what Alabama's offense was last year. The highs of Jalen Milroe and the lows of Jalen Milroe. I think you're going to get much more consistent based on. I don't think there's going to be a time when we look at Alabama and go, my God, I have no idea how you stop this football team like we did at certain times last year with Alabama. I remember very well you coming on after that Georgia game and saying, what are you going to do? Yeah. Jalen Milroe looks like Superman right now. Now, obviously, it didn't turn out to be that way, but there were times where it was like, holy shit, what do you do?
Yeah.
I think that I agree with a more consistent. Like, I think you'll see a lot more consistency in this offense, but I think that naturally this offense was going to be more comfortable this year, and DeBoer is going to be more comfortable because it is year two. You're also getting your offensive coordinator back, so you get some extra comfort there. You don't feel like maybe so much weight is on your shoulders for the offense, and you have a guy at quarterback that fits the mold like you're talking about. So yeah, I think that is going to bring more comfort into this offense. So I think that they will be in a better situation here, and it'll look like how it did in Washington.
I do think an interesting thing to point out with Alabama, though, is for as much as we talk about how Kayden D'or might have been working with something that he was uncomfortable with, it might have been something he wasn't used to as a coordinator, as a play caller with Jalen Milroe, that also somewhat provides you an advantage as an offense. Because if you're Texas, if you're Georgia, if you're all these defenses that were preparing for Alabama last season, what film are you watching to prepare for that offense? Because obviously what Kayden D'or did is not what they had in Jalen Milroe, and any Jalen Milroe film would be completely different because he was being coached by a different squad. So I think that could have also played into some advantages for the Alabama offense last year.
Yeah, a certain level of unpredictability with what they had going on. I know Georgia certainly felt that. They had to make so much adjustments in that football game because really all they had to watch was the Wisconsin tape. I mean, it was mid-major after mid-major in between those football games last year on that Alabama schedule.
And in fairness to it, we've seen Kayden D'or offenses get put in a box sometimes. I don't remember who it was in 2023,
Michigan got him in the national title game.
Michigan got him in the national title game.
A lot of mixed coverage.
There was
a lot.
There was
Utah?
It was a pretty low-ranked team that like took them down to the wire, I believe. It was later in the season, but like Washington had like 20 points going into the fourth quarter, which was not anything on par to what they had been doing all season.
Washington State held them to 24 points.
Stuff like that. So, I mean, we've seen it's able to be, hindered. So, I think you're going to see
Arizona State. That was a
That's who it
15-7 football game.
That's what it was. You're going to see a more consistent version of Alabama's offense next year, which if that's scary, there are reasons why it should be, but I don't think you're going to wake up one day and go, oh, great, Jalen Monroe looks like God today. We're not going to win.
I mean, it was Arizona State, again, was 15-7. Oregon State 22-20, and then Washington State the week after that was 24-21. So there were some moments there late in the season, and I remember this because I remember that people were fading on Washington a little bit. They weren't believing in all the hype anymore because it seemed like they had peaked too early in the season, and they were kind of on this downward trend. So I do kind of remember that.
Speaking of peaking, you want to take a peek at this South Carolina football team?
Let's do it.
A little 110 action for you guys here. Summer conditioning, 110 test for the South Carolina Gamecocks, coming off a 9-4 football team or football season last year. Hey, quick question: would more teams pick this team as a college football playoff team had they all opted out of the Illinois loss in the bowl game?
I don't think so. No one, because when no one cites the Illinois loss as the reason they're down.
I don't know, big dog. If the last football game that South Carolina played last year was a win over Clemson, people would be picking them to make the college football playoff this year. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, but everyone cites the win over Clemson. No one goes, yeah, but they lost to Illinois last season.
But we all remember it.
Yeah, but it's a bowl game.
Yeah, bowl games don't count.
It's the bowl game. Like we've hit that age of college
So
football.
you're a no. Are you a yes? I'm a yes. Do you think people would be more bullish on South Carolina this year had the Illinois game just not existed?
I feel like people are bullish on them.
Really?
Yeah, man.
People hype
South
us up.
I feel like
South
people
Carolina
are
is
bullish on
everyone's
them.
favorite sneaky team.
Oh.
That's just kind of the feel I get around it. Like, people are picking them to be like the top candidate to be a brand new college football playoff team.
A brand new college football playoff team?
Yeah.
Yeah. First timers.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool. Biggest losses on this football team? I'll let you guys go because I don't think mine's going to get picked. You might get it, though. Who do you got?
TJ Sanders.
Okay. No, you
I
missed me.
have three.
I put
okay, so you might hit me.
TJ Sanders or Eman Wari, but I think TJ Sanders is the bigger
Okay.
the person they're going to miss more this season.
I had Eman Wari. I had Dow Loggins, the OC. Cal Kennard is your biggest loss, I think.
Interesting.
Because
I went completely different.
everyone talks about how great Dylan Stewart is and how amazing his freshman year was. Dylan Stewart had an incredible freshman year, and he's going to be a really, really good player. Dylan Stewart's production, however, was supplemented by the fact that most defenses were worrying about Kyle Kennard. The fact that Kyle Kennard is not on that roster right now, you can basically put a target around Dylan Stewart and say, okay, how are we going to stop this guy?
It wasn't just Kennard. It was the fact that Tonka Hemingway was in there
Right.
and was TJ Sanders. So
Tonka,
there was no opportunity for, hey, we're going to take this guy out today for any of them last year at South Carolina. There will be this year. I think the biggest loss is Demetrius Knight.
Love Demetrius Knight.
yes, that's a good
massive, massive playmaker for them at that second level. But they were so good in that front level that if anything squeaked through, he was just erased. You didn't see any of those errors or any of those mistakes that they had up on the front end. And when you have that type of eraser, you can be a lot more aggressive getting upfield as a defensive lineman, leads to a lot more explosive plays defensively. But it's not just him. They lost both linebackers.
Yeah, Bam Martin Scott was also a really solid linebacker for them as well. I mean, that entire defense last year, they lost a good chunk of it.
We talked about it, man. When I say they lost 6 draft picks on the defensive side of the football, if I said that about any given year, about any SEC program, how many teams are you rattling off? Oh, that's Georgia. Must be Georgia. Oh, that must be Alabama. Oh, that must be LSU. Oh, that must be Texas. Oh, that must be Oklahoma.
Might even throw Tennessee in there.
Oh, that must be Texas A&M. No, it was South Carolina last year. This football program lost more NFL football players last year than they ever have before in the history of that football program.
To your point, it wasn't like it was a bunch of 5th, 6th, 7th rounders. I mean, it was Eman Wari in the second
these are
round.
dudes.
It was Demetrius Knight was an early round pick as well. TJ Sanders was an early round pick. Like, these were really good.
I think Kyle Kennard might have been the lowest drafted of them all.
Might have been.
Other than Tonka.
They lost NFL dudes, not guys that got drafted.
No.
There's a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So losses, all of them. Biggest additions. I got a very unique one here.
I put Xavier Hardy.
I like this.
I went Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy. I feel like he's a transfer that could probably add some good depth to that interior defensive
the
line.
D tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I like your Xavier Hardy pick.
Yeah, former #1 overall JUCO player. Was initially committed to South Carolina, I believe, coming out of high school. Had to go to JUCO route. Now back with the Gamecocks. Doesn't seem like that our lads is thinking he's going to be a contributor this year or a starter this year, but I think he's going to end up being a big-time contributor for them, for how they speak about him.
Yeah, how Shane talks about him.
Yeah.
Shane talked about him as if, almost if he's a plug-and-play type of guy that they got out of the portal. Spent 2 years at JUCO, very similar to what Seven Cloud is doing right now. I think their biggest addition would have been Bo Atkinson. If I were their player development department, we would have thrown everything we could have at Bo, the kid that ended up going to Ohio State out of North Carolina. But since they didn't add him, adding Nick Harbor to your spring roster was huge.
Oh, that is a good one.
For this football team, okay, because they really didn't go out and do a whole bunch of activity in the portal, okay? This is a football team that's had about 25, 26 high school kids every single class the last 3 or 4 classes. So they've been building to have a retention-based roster. If they're going to be about that, the blue chippers that they invested in better boom for them. Nick Harbor spent their first spring at South Carolina with that football program. Normally the last 2 years he's been running track. So that additional year of or spring of rapport and getting that continuity with that new offensive coordinator down there, Mike Shula, I think that's huge.
That's a very underrated addition.
Solid take, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Good spin.
Biggest weakness on this roster?
We already touched on all the departures. I think that's going to be your, youth, inexperience, depth is a weakness. The biggest weakness, in my opinion, is that schedule. You give this team a ACC or Big 12 schedule, everyone's marking them down for the playoff. I think with what South Carolina has to deal with right now, 9-3 is probably the ceiling for you. And we saw 9-3 didn't make you a playoff team last year. So
I want to say the weapons. I am very skeptical of their weapons this year because Nick Harbor.
Gosh, sleeping on Mazio Bennett and Jared Brown couldn't be me.
Nick Harbor is a projection still. He had some good moments last year, but he's still very much so a projection. People are projecting him to have a big season this year. Jared Brown and Mazio Bennett are going to be solid options for them this year, but I mean, like, Jared Brown is the only veteran they have in that wide receiver room. Mazio Bennett is a sophomore. The rest of them are a bunch of true freshmen for the most part. I mean, it's guys like Malik Clark or Lex Cyrus who just got there. I mean, they're going to be relying on a young core of wide receivers.
Lex Cyrus.
Yeah, it's a really cool name, isn't it?
Name.
Sounds like a
They brought in a transfer at tight end. They brought in Jordan Dingle.
He's from Kentucky.
Yeah, so
that's a 200-yard max tight end.
So
it's not what they had last year. The Simon kid last year was nuts.
And then if you even want to get into the running back room as well for the weapon department, like they brought in Rasul Faison. He has not gotten his ruling for next year of eligibility from the NCAA. And I just want to put this out there. I would not be getting my hopes up for that one if I'm a South Carolina fan. Name me the last time the NCAA agreed with one of these to say, yeah, get your extra year of eligibility. Diego Pavia is like an anomaly at this point.
He's the one and only.
It's very rare.
A single other player win one of those.
And so then
we covered 3 SEC teams that have been putting up these lawsuits left and right in baseball.
Tennessee had 2 of them. Both got denied. So
Georgia had a baseball player denied.
And then when I also see my program getting another transfer in the middle of the summer at running back, that's not good signs to me. So I think that there's some big questions there.
I think across the board, one deep, just starters on paper, and if you look at who the players are, I think they're as talented, maybe not as talented as the Georgias or Texases in that first 22, but they're a top 5 roster in this conference with their starters. The problem is there ain't a lot of depth there at South Carolina right now, so I think they got to pray for health more than anything.
For sure.
You got to pray for health. Biggest strength, I think it's that they have the best quarterback in the sport.
I put it this way, the suddenness of this offense, like the suddenness that they can strike you this year, or how I think they're going to be able to, whether it is Lenoris, like he might pick up a 60-yard game with his legs before you can even blink, or he might sling a 60-yard bomb to Nick Harbor before you can even blink. I think the suddenness that they're going to have with this offense is going to be their biggest strength.
Lenoris Sellers is the main strength, because he is one of the more talented quarterbacks in the SEC. I have this as an asterisk, though. This could either be a strength of theirs or a weakness. This is a team that believes in itself more than ever. Ooh. Like, how often do you see a South Carolina team come into the season thinking, yeah, we should make the playoff this year. Yeah, we should beat Clemson. Yeah, we can beat Alabama. We can beat LSU. We should be able to beat such and such teams. We are that caliber. Like, it's a very interesting situation they find themselves in. It could be a strength. They could use it to their advantage, but it also could become a disadvantage, which is why I put a question mark next to it.
Most important player.
Nick Harbor.
Nick Harbor was my. I mean, obviously,
Nick
Lenore Sellers is the obvious answer because he's the quarterback. But if Nick Harbor has the season that everyone's hoping he can have, that offense is going to be very, very good.
All right, now I got an interesting answer here for biggest game.
So do I.
And I'm curious if you guys agree. I think it's Game 5. The road game at LSU will define whether or not this football team is a real contender. It's SC State, Vandy, Mizzou, Kentucky. Those first 4 games, those are winnable. You should win those football games. You're 4-0 on the road at LSU, okay? And after that game, you play Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. We're going to find out who you are on the road at LSU. If you can't get out of there with at least a win or a serviceable, honorable loss, if that's a 2 or 3 score loss, I'm sorry. It's just not your year. Move on.
I said the most important game was that 5-game stretch because you look at each individual one. It's like
it's brutal.
That's a very important. Like what you do in those 5 weeks will define what you do for the 2025 season.
By the way, unless you're Auburn this year, Texas this year, or Missouri this year, this is your future in the SEC. You're going to have a 5-game stretch on everyone's schedule where you're like, God dang, they really gave you that? They gave you that gauntlet? Man, I'm so sorry. That's just the way this sport is now in this conference. But, hey, go to 9.
I picked the LSU game because, like, you got to pick up your wins early with that schedule. With how you close the season, it's very important that you start off strong to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room down at this last stretch of the season if you are going to make a college football playoff. So picking up a road win on top of that against LSU, that would be massive for picking up some momentum or carrying more momentum into the back half of the season.
All righty. Records prediction. I got them 8-4, could be 10-2.
I put 8-4.
8-4.
That's 6-game stretches. Woof.
Yeah.
Be lucky to get out 3-3. And then you got to end the year against Clemson.
Just my gut feeling about that.
That's at home, though. They get Clemson at home.
Yeah.
It's also
that's ideal.
Shane Beamer's had 2 or 3 seasons now where the expectations are high. You have a pretty good year, and you go into the next season thinking things are going to be great, and they don't shake well. I feel like this could very well turn out to be this.
Yeah. I'd play for that guy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, 7-5. I changed my
All
answer.
right, Shane Beamer's going 4.
Matter of fact, 6-6.
4-8 is my final prediction.
Unfortunate.
Damn shame.
Can't believe you just cursed him like that.
Damn shame. We got a whole nother hour coming up right now. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. Does Brooks and Crew upload segments of the live as standalone vids? Yes, we do a lot during the season. We're going to stop doing that as much because we unlike other folks that just do live shows, we upload a lot of film study. Like today, we uploaded a film study of Whit Weeks, and then we did this live show. YouTube's uploading system only allows subscribers to get 1 notification per day of an upload or a live stream from your site. So, in other words, if I upload a bunch, you're not going to be told when we're going live. So I try not to upload too much. If I'm doing that incorrectly, I'm sure one of you million YouTube gurus that are constantly email me asking for money to boost my show will help me out on that front. I get those emails constantly. Hey, film guy, found your network, found your YouTube channel. You do great stuff. Here's my package on how to maximize your channel. First of all, buddy, if you approach me in email as, hey, film guy, no off rip, you weren't watching, okay? Because I am the film guy, but I'd prefer to be called Brooks in an email if you're trying to get my business. Welcome into Local Hour. We got a loaded one for you. Carson Beck's comments on Miami and Georgia. We're going to rank the transfers' impacts on this roster. What the hell do we talk about between now and August 23rd?
Soon we'll be able to talk about fall camp.
That was the segment. Thanks for ruining it.
Oh.
So we got that tonight. I was
gonna
going to hype you guys up for fall camp, but Stretch over there just ruined the hype. One of the questions you want answered about this roster after the 2 cupcake games to open the season, prior to that road game at Knoxville in Tennessee. We're going to talk about the toughest road game, toughest home game, and toughest neutral site game of the season tonight as well. But we got to eat vegetables again tonight. Staring down at a plate full of veggies.
These are not good vegetables either.
These are
Yesterday's vegetables were like, you know what? I can stomach these. These ones are like, oh,
yesterday's vegetables were
beets.
like, really? You had that much marijuana on you? Today's vegetables are like, what?
What are we doing?
What are you doing? And I don't want to hear you're 17. I don't want to hear this. So for those of you who don't know, if you're new today to the news that happened to Georgia's recent safety commit, Chase Calakut is currently facing, what are the charges right here? I got them written down. This is 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In short, Chase Calakut, per the reporting today, threatened a student at his school in front of witnesses, then proceeded to get into the car and engage what reads as obvious road rage, running this student down and chasing them down in the car, flipping U-turns. All the meanwhile, his buddy that was in the front seat may have fired off, what was the report, 7 rounds? 7 rounds firing gunshots at this student's vehicle. Stupid.
Yeah, it's
Stupid.
that's an understatement.
yeah.
Both were charged. Both young men in the car, Chase Calakut and the other person in his car, were charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. For those of you who don't know, that carries a potential sentencing of 2 to 20 years in prison. Both were charged with that. However, only one of them apparently is going to be facing the charges because the young man that was shooting in the car apparently was shot at a local pool.
Yeah, at a pool
And-
party
and tragically passed.
a couple days ago, he was
This
found
past
dead,
weekend,
so.
yeah.
Unfortunate news.
I'm just going to say this. If this young man happens to beat these charges, okay, I'm all for second chances. I'm all for second chances, okay? That being said, your program ain't the one that can give it to him.
No.
I'm sorry. You can't. There is no way, and I'll be the first one to criticize him. If Chase Calakut ends on Georgia's roster, if this indeed is true, okay, if he beats these charges and end up on Georgia's roster, I'm going to throw my hands up and go, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm all for second chances. He can have them somewhere else. He can have them at another program. You have put yourself into a corner where you cannot be the football program that gives second chances to these types of individuals.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of conversation over the past couple of off seasons has been, how do you change the culture at Georgia? How do you fix these issues? Well, I would imagine a good way of making sure that your culture changes or at least continues to improve is you don't let something like this get into your program, unfortunately, just because of the history. That just seems like something a really bad idea.
You just open yourself up for so much criticism, not even liabilities, criticism. The liabilities comes from this happens again on your campus or something driver-related happens on your campus. But you can't come in here with these types of marks on your report card and expect to stay here. I don't think you can. I don't think it would be
No,
reasonable.
I mean, with the overall stench that is on this program around the driving records, and I mean, you don't have to go far onto social media to find some meme about Georgia football and driving and alcohol-related vehicle or like it's there. You know where it is. This kid can't be on your campus, which is very unfortunate for him and very unfortunate for you because he was a hell of a player.
Bro, he was going to be my guy.
Yeah,
He's a really good
He was
football
going to be my
player.
guy. I thought that was the best defensive back that they might have signed or on the way to sign in this class. He's a great football player. Again, if and when he does get off on these charges, I guarantee you he's on a Division I roster. He just can't be on yours.
no, he cannot.
So there's that. Carson Beck was at ACC Media Days this week, and he's in the news today. But I think he's in the news just because he's the former Georgia quarterback that was talking about Georgia. I don't think any of these comments were anything other than what he's supposed to say.
There was a couple of like, oh, you can throw that in a headline, but he was not probed on Georgia topics nearly at all.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. Like the media almost was like the whole thing that I think I would want to know if I'm a media member right now is, hey, from December whenever to when the SEC championship was to when you entered the transfer portal, what happened here? Because you entered the draft, there was speculation that Georgia wanted you back, but you didn't want to come back. There was speculation that you want to come back, but Georgia said to kick rocks. Like what happened there? Walk us through that. That was never asked.
Well, he did get asked if there was a conversation about returning to Georgia, and he quickly nipped it in the bud. It basically said, yeah, there was a conversation. It was a good one, and then moved on. and I ended up going to Miami. I don't think he immediately went into that. I ended up going to Miami, but it was more of, yeah, we talked. I'm not going to further elaborate on that. But the quote that everybody ran today, including our outlet, was this one, quote, I think the biggest thing for me, obviously, was the offensive fit. As a quarterback, the OC, the scheme, the talent, and the guys that you're going to have around you is huge to the success and ultimately the future of a quarterback, but of me. This is my future, and I think the decision is one of the better ones that I have made. I think what most people clinged on there was the comment about the offensive coordinator because of who Mike Bobo is.
Yeah.
And everyone clinged to that.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks want to throw the football.
Yeah.
Georgia's the Kirby Smart brand is we are going to bludgeon you into submission and we are going to throw the ball when we see fit. Again, quarterbacks want to throw the football, and you threw it more than ever under Carson Beck with Carson Beck at the helm. But the per se brand and the OC and the model of throwing the football, airing it out, hey, you're going to have 45 attempts a game, that's not Georgia football. Miami might offer you that.
I don't think there's anything salacious in this quote. In fact, I don't think there's anything that he said
No.
all ACC Media Days. In fact, he went on to say he's going to be a dog forever. He views himself as a dog forever. He will always tie himself to the University of Georgia. This young man speaks as if he has no ill will towards your program. And I just want to say, man, like, if you're a Georgia fan listening to this today, this is a guy that spent 3 years waiting to wear your colors, waiting to start for your football program. In a day and age where nobody does this, nobody waits their turn anymore. He waited his turn and started and played, I would argue, admirably for 2 straight seasons. So there shouldn't be any malice towards this young man. That being said, he did choose to play his last year of college football somewhere else, and that is going to create some type of feeling in your body. It's going to make you feel some type of way, and I think we've talked about this on this network before. I don't think there needs to be any, that guy sucks, I'm so glad he's no longer playing on my team. However, I don't think you need to be out here getting Carson Beck tattoos calling him a damn good dog. You know?
Yeah.
Getting
There's
tattoos
a middle
crazy.
ground here.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's one of those instances, and you're going to get more and more of these in the modern era of college football, of being appreciative of the time that they gave your program. Because, I mean, the reality is he gave you a full career's worth. He gave you 4 years.
Yeah.
He gave you 5 years, actually.
And on top of that, he also had a quote today where they kind of asked, like, talk about the turnovers last year and maybe some of the issues that you had. And he put all the weight on himself. He said, I was playing Superman. I was trying to do way too much when I didn't need to be doing any of that, and I was trying to make too much happen. And so
my takeaway.
I've covered that. Sorry,
No.
I've covered that guy for 5 years now, 6 years since COVID, since pre-COVID. 2019 was when he first started popped up. The guy, apart from I don't like watching football, the guy has never said the wrong thing in front of a microphone ever.
That was what I was saying. I watched all the clips because he even did a hit with ESPN today. He was very well spoken, and to his credit, he's always been that way. But I didn't walk
I think
away
he had
from
one
that.
slip up, and it was just being too honest.
yeah.
I don't like watching TV copy football. I
And,
watch a lot of film, but I don't like watching TV.
And immediately goes like, "Oh crap, that's
crap.
gonna be taken the wrong way." And
Yeah.
immediately try to backtrack it. But 6 years, one slip up is a good track record from a media standpoint. Like, no, I think that there's a lot of unnecessary hate thrown Carson Beck's way last season, and we don't have to dive into that. But
I think we're at the point now, at least on this channel, where I think every bit of conversation about Carson needs to only be about his fit at Miami and how they're going to do this year. So let's talk about that. What are they going to be? How are they going to be? I expect Notre Dame to handle them pretty damn well to start the season. I expect Notre Dame to be a man-to-man pressure football team that says to Miami wide receivers, you can't beat me today. We're going to slide safety rotation over Josiah Trader, and none of you other guys are going to cause problems for us. That's going to be their game plan to start the season. And then they get 2 cupcakes, and then they got to play Florida. So I think within a month of the season, we're going to know, A, just how good this offense is going to be, but B, by week 4, we're going to know how good this defense down at Miami is going to be, because I think Florida's going to try to lean on them. Florida's going to run the ball this year, guys. I don't know if y'all know this.
Yeah.
Florida's going to run the piss up out the rock this year and then throw it a mile with DJ Lagway.
Yeah. I think that you'll see more of like a very like if Carson Beck could be even more vanilla, I think that you'll see a even more vanilla Carson Beck this year compared to last year, I should say. I think you'll just kind of see him cut it back to the basics and do what his strengths are, which is operating from the pocket and reading defenses.
I do think it's interesting though, because the Miami offense last year felt supplemented by two things: the fact that you had some guys, Xavier Restrepo and others, and Cam Ward was very good at making plays. I mean, we saw all last year, like, oh, my God, how do you do that? That's not really Carson Beck's MO. He can make plays for you, but he's not Cam Ward-esque. So,
he's a facilitator.
Yeah, he's a facilitator. He's best when he's playing on schedule, playing within the rhythm, within the system. The fact that your weapons we can all agree, are a little bit worse, and you now have a quarterback that's more playing on time and system-based, things could get interesting for the Miami offense.
I do think if we're Mario Cristobal, we got to be a little bit careful with some of these quotes that we're letting fly off. Like, for example, Exhibit A for the court. This time last year, Carson Beck was a first-round pick and Cam Ward was a fifth-round pick.
What are you saying?
What am I supposed to do with that?
What are you saying? Are you saying the quarterback you have now is better than the number one overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft?
This is why these types of comments don't ever need to be made, because there's so much, like, so many different ways we can take this.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Carson Beck's about to be better than Cam Ward? Are you telling me that NFL evaluators don't know shit? What are you telling me?
Yeah.
When you make these comments, what are you telling me? Just don't make them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No need. No need to have that headline out there.
His intentions
don't
were
mean a hill of
probably
beans.
They're just to hype up my quarterback.
Well,
I
that
get
and like
that.
y'all don't know what you're talking about. Look what
Yeah.
you said about my quarterback last year, went number one overall. Now you're saying this guy's going to be good. What? I don't know. It's interesting. You're right.
Still got massive questions about the weaponry down there, but that is what it is. We are in the local hour. Georgia took 10 transfers this offseason, guys.
That's the most I've ever taken under Kirby, I believe.
Yep.
I think 8 was the previous
was
record.
8. Yep. Previous was 8. So 10 guys. I took the liberty of ranking 1 to 10 most impactful transfers. Do you want this list?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear this.
You want
list.
a 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
10 to 1.
10 to 1?
Always build.
10 being the least
Always
impact,
build,
right?
Always build, except for on front 9.
Yeah.
Number 10, Micah Bell.
All right.
Shout out Dylan Bell.
Might be a special teams demon. Highly doubt he ever plays offensive meaningful snaps.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was his production at Vandy?
It wasn't at Vandy. It was at Notre Dame, and it was none.
That's right. He was on Vandy's roster for a minute, though, wasn't he?
Perhaps. Would be news to me. Don't think he's recorded many stats in his college football career, nor do I think he will be recording them at Georgia. I think this is a special teams guy. Runs really, really fast. By the way, people telling me, could be a weapon, gadget weapon on the offense. We got to find ways for Dwight Phillips to get touches. Let's be careful on the Micah Bell stuff.
Could have also been an olive branch of.
He was at Vandy.
Yeah, he was at Notre Dame, then transferred to Vandy,
See, I
and
know.
now is at Georgia.
I know ball.
Ball knower.
Could have also been an olive branch of, hey Dylan, yeah, you've given 3 years of really, really dedicated service to our program.
We'll take your brother.
We'll let you play with your
Who
brother
happens
for the last
to run
season.
10-3 in the 100.
Yeah,
We'll let him be a seek and missile on punt team.
exactly.
Can't hurt us.
Exactly.
Number 9, Jaden Harris. Now, we were having this conversation pre-show. I wish Georgia would get back to the days, or even just create days where, you're a great cover corner, and we have a lot of those, but you can also do this in the slot, so we'll just let you do that in the slot. Sometimes I think that they get a little bit too, you got to know everything type of coaching, and I understand that because you got immensely talented football players. Knowing your assignment and alignment is very, very important in that defense. Don't want to be busting coverages. Number one way to create an explosive offensively is defensively is to not do your job. I understand. That being said, Jaden Harris could be a lockdown number 3 cover corner in the nickel. I believe that. I've seen it on tape. That being said, as safety, still kind of lost. Was very kind of lost on tape last year at Miami. Now, that could be coaching. That could be I was a high school corner. I'm just now learning how to play safety. There's a lot of contributing factors going on there. That being said, I think he's going to be a cover nickel guy in the Sunday League if he gets there.
Is this a good or bad sign? And correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misreading this here. I feel like there's a lot of, buzz around Jaden Harris when there was hey, they might take this kid. He obviously committed to Georgia, and there was a lot of hey, here's what we get. The second he got to Athens, there's not been a word said about him.
Yeah.
Now, typically when you don't hear bad things, it's good, but if you don't hear good things, it's, there's been nothing coming out. What does that mean from the camp?
I think that means most people are talking about Adrian Maddox and Zion Branch, who are rated higher than Jaden on my list. Number 8, Adrian Maddox, the UAB transfer. Much bigger and longer in person than I imagined him to be watching that UAB tape. A playmaker, too. The guy's going to have to learn how to consistently play, though. I think that's the number one piece of intel I've heard about Adrian is like, hey, if we can get this guy to play like he does at his highs every down, he's going to be our starter. Number 7, Walt Flynn, the transfer from UCF, also a Grayson kid. I could have ranked him much higher considering what they need. Look, Malachi Tolliver, if you're listening today, buddy, I love you. You know I'm a big fan for mouth-breathing, ugly offensive linemen. That being said, if Drew Bobo got hurt this year, they'd be playing Malachi Tolliver not knowing if he's ready. I think Walt Flynn is a little bit more ready to play if they had to play him right now. Or maybe have to teach Micah how to snap. I don't know what they would do. That's why his addition was very, very important for them this offseason. Same thing for Josh Horton. They just weren't deep enough at defensive end and defensive line. Getting a big body like that is really important. I love that kid coming out of high school at Langston Hughes, goes down to Miami, plays relatively a good amount of playing time for them last year, and I think has a shoulder injury and misses the rest of the back end of last year. But I think it's going to be a much-needed body in that room for them.
What's the ceiling for a guy like Josh Horton?
6'5", 290, Malik Herring.
Okay.
I think a lot of Georgia fans will sign up for that.
I'll take Malik Herring.
I don't think it's a Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think he's better than Robert Beal. Like I thought Malik Herring was a better college player than Robert Beal. Robert Beal was drafted higher. He was drafted. Malik wasn't.
Measurables.
Yeah, but I thought Malik was a better college player. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Much more impactful too.
More consistent college player. I think Robert Beal had some really big flashes in the 22 season.
That's fair. Number 5, Zion Branch. I think by week 4 he might be your starting safety alongside KJ Bolden.
I'm high on Zion Branch, so the fact you have a 5 is interesting.
Well, the first 4 are 3 of them are offensive players, and then the fourth one is an edge rusher that they had to have. Number 4, Josh McCray. I think you needed a thunder to your lightning. You got a lot of lightning in that room. You know, got a lot of really, really fast, twitchy backs. I know Chauncey's kind of a blend between both of these, but I think you need 2 lightnings, 2 thunders, and a blend. And
to your credit, there hasn't been a lot of these thunderous backs that you've seen on the roster lately. Like Kendall Milton might have been that in 23, but
well, you've had 2 of them, but they both have been hurt. Roderick Robertson and Branson Robinson.
They have available to you at least.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Like you haven't.
Like I even going back to like the Todd Monken era, like Zamir White was technically the thunder to James Cook, but Zamir White was also, you know, he shedded a lot of weight.
Thunder is to lightning as Knuckles is to Sonic. What are some other ones we can get here?
Jameer Gibbs to David Montgomery.
I feel like PB&J falls in this.
A little PB.
Peanut butter is way more sturdy than jelly.
And jelly got that pizzazz, got that pop. You know
peanut butter
like this.
Do you know the difference between jelly and jam?
No.
I'll tell you after. That's an off-air joke.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Kirby is to Schumann.
Is Kirby the thunder in that?
Yeah. Nah, he's the lightning. Thunder can't kill you, lightning can.
Yeah, but the thunder's louder.
Yeah, but lightning gets you quick.
Thunder make the foundation of your house shake.
Interesting.
I'm really just lingering so chat can throw me some more of these. They're not helping me out here. We got chicken is to cane sauce.
What about some white rice versus fried rice?
No, we're thinking thunder and lightning. I was thinking more like fried rice to soy sauce. You know, the combination of the two go together.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah. Okay. That's the type of vibe.
The peanut butter
fried
to the
rice
chocolate.
and steamed rice are 2 totally different categories.
But you need
know what I mean?
to steam the rice to get the fried rice.
That's like thunder and rain.
You still got to have the white rice to get the fried rice.
Peas and carrots.
It's the off season. What do you want us to do?
Ooh, Brooks to Feinbaum. I like this.
You were just waiting on that one.
Yeah, that's
what a brown noser.
Who's your number 3? Who's number 3 most impactful?
Oh, my bad. We still got a list going on. Number 3, Elo Madozi.
It's actually pronounced Elo.
Elo?
Elo. Kirby
Elo,
corrected
Elo, Elo, A.
Golly, dude. No,
Yeah?
Kirby
Yeah?
was correcting people at SEC Media Days. It's actually pronounced Elo Medozi. So.
Okay. My man Elo, we're going to call him Elo. No, I'll call him Elo. I don't want no smoke. Not from an Army infantryman. No way.
That's
I'm
a trained killer.
Yeah. Certified killer. Number 3, though, on the list. You can make the argument, number 1, you needed an edge rusher. You needed another stand-up jack. Needed another body in the room. Number 2, Noah Thomas. Number 1, Zachariah Branch. I'm buying the ceiling on Zachariah Branch.
So I kind of have a similar top 5 to you. I only did 5. I didn't do the full 10. But I have Noah Thomas as a number 1. I think that having a true X wide receiver was a bigger deal as opposed to getting a Zachariah Branch. Not that Zachariah Branch isn't a really solid addition to this
I want
roster.
Zachariah Branch 1 and Noah Thomas 2 because Colby Young's on the roster.
I was literally going to say that.
That's fair.
I think
skill set.
that's fair.
I think if Colby Young never came back to this roster, Noah Thomas would far and away be your number 1.
But if you just went into the season with Colby Young only, you're potentially an injury away from being back where you were last year to only having one option at that type
This
of
is
spot.
big facts.
So I think adding 2 of those or adding a second guy into that room was big. I have Elo Medozi as my number 2 because, again, I'm going by need more than anything almost of. You had to have him. You had to have somebody that could add some depth into that room, and he certainly brings it, and he brings experience, and he's a solid football player. I have Zachariah Branch at number 3 because I think that he is more ceiling than anybody else in the wide receiver room this year as an opportunity to make plays, whether it's in the return game, if that's what he's going to do this year, as on top of what he'll do in the receiving game as well. I have Zion Branch coming in at number 4 because I think that there is potential for him to be your starter at safety this year, but at the very least, he's going to be a solid contributor for you to rotate in at safety. And then Josh McCray coming in at number 5 for me because you did need the Thunder to the Lightning, and you needed somebody else to be able to do your short yardage carries because I think that there's a lot of moments last year where you really could have used someone like Josh McCray, and you just didn't have that to where it's like, hey, guaranteed first down right here if we get the ball to him.
Yeah, I mean, our top 5s are
You
basically
needed your
the same.
Kurt Schilling to your Randy Johnson.
Wow. Have you been thinking of that the whole time?
Just now. Keep talking.
Good job. I mean, our
got
top
more cooking.
I only did a top 5 just because I didn't want to name players. Like, you're the second least impactful transfer on this roster.
Like
But-
Brooks did.
Yeah, like Brooks did. Boy, damn, dude.
What a
You
mean
needed
guy.
your white Bronco to your OJ.
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. There's a lot of layers to that one. But no, the top
Onions have layers.
Blindside reference.
No.
Blindside.
I know.
Was that a joke?
No, it's in the Blind Side.
It's also far more famous in another movie.
That's a Shrek,
It's a Shrek
reference.
reference.
There you go.
I mean, I know that, but the Blind Side reference is more nuanced and funnier. Anyways, the top 5 is the top 5. I think Zion, Zachariah, Noah Thomas, Elo, and Josh McCray. Like, you can interchange those depending on what they do in the 2025 season, but they are going to be your most impactful transfers this year. What are y'all laughing at, chat?
Let's just getting tomatoes.
You're getting
thrown at us.
tomatoes, dude. That's tough.
thrown at me.
Virtual tomatoes is hard to come back from.
Damn. That's crazy.
What's next on the show notes?
What the hell do we talk about between now and August 23rd?
Dude, I don't
That's a
know.
great
I mean,
question.
we were just doing thunder and lightning comps for 5 minutes. We're scraping, guys. He's thinking of more right now. Look at his face, dude. The wheel.
A Baja Blast to a chicken quesadilla.
Nah, he lost me.
Come on
I'm not a Mountain Dew guy.
Come on now. Talk to me. No. In all seriousness, we got fall camp starting in like 10 days.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think earlier than that, 8 days. I think they report July 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we'll have media availability like August 2nd. We're here. We got through it.
Well, this is the dark week.
But it
I mean,
still
it's a
feels
dark-
like it's
dark
here.
10 days.
This is the dark
we
week. where
got some dark days of
all
content coming
all
up.
off season
I don't
is
know
like
what the hell we're going to do for an hour on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all off season is like we at least go, you know what? There's some recruiting buzz going on, and then that carries into, well, there's the spring game, then there's more recruiting buzz, and then you can say, hey, media days are here. We can drag that for a week, and then it's just
We'll get to preview and talk about a commit August 2nd, the Lonan kid, Lonan Jr., excuse me, from Clark Central. So we'll get to talk about that. But other than that, we're going to be – I mean, this is – I learned pre-show. This is why having Clemson week 1, having Oregon week 1 is so pivotal to this offseason lead-up. because there's infinite film I can watch. I can only watch Notre Dame versus Georgia so many times on this network. You guys, I mean, y'all just showed up for the Gunnar Stockton film study, even though y'all let Arch Manning's film study outdo you. But hey, I ain't gonna say it.
Arch is a national brand, dude. You can't credit it all.
I mean,
There's non-Texas fans watching that one.
you're probably right. But anyways, the Clemson games and the first week games are so pivotal to this platform because we grind that tape, man.
Well, I mean, too, like we as like Georgia content creators, the previous off seasons we've been a little spoiled because you win the first national title, you get to talk about that all off season. You win the second national title, you get to talk about the dynasty that's forming and are they going to three-peat, all this other stuff. And then now, like this offseason, things are just a little bit different, specifically around the program. Not that Georgia has like taken a step down or anything like that, but you don't have those things to talk about.
There's a sense of
saying, give us the Marshall tape. Aren't they going through a head coach change? First year head coach at Marshall.
I'll be honest, haven't grinded Marshall football.
I thought that was like
watch the movie
we're
though.
having a tough time finding a guy to take this job because we just fired the long-time standing coach at Marshall.
Yes. Tony
Ball
Gibson.
knower. Absolute ball knower. I'm out here thundering herd ball knowing.
Tony Gibson was the defensive coordinator at NC State.
Go and talk to him.
For
Is
the
that the
last
Buffalo or the
5
Bison?
years.
That's
The
thundering
herd.
herd.
I know, but what's the herd of?
Buffalo.
Or Bison?
I feel like yeah, maybe bison, but I feel like the herding animal is far more conducive to the buffalo or connected.
I mean, there's
to
a herd of
buffalo.
goats.
I mean, ain't nobody talking about a herd of goats coming to get you. You know, herd of buffalo. They scare you a little bit.
I'm reading on it. Give me a minute.
Are you trying to figure out whether or not
We're
it's
getting
a buffalo or a
some
bison?
mascot history right
Yeah,
here.
we love that.
History lesson for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Is it a buffalo
I think
or a
my
bison?
favorite part about you got something for me, AI? It's a bison.
It's a bison.
AI says it's a bison. My favorite part about Marshall is watching Matthew McConaughey point with his finger folded that whole entire movie. Do you think the real character actually did that, or he was just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold a toothpick with my hand the whole time,
Yeah, I'm gonna add this, make the
and I'm
character
gonna
nice.
point like this.
And I'm gonna star in 35 Buick commercials. What an insufferable time to watch cable television.
But we got practice reports coming soon,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll be good.
How hush are you expecting things to be this year?
Very. I expect to go out. Well, we'll get one media availability during fall camp.
Oh, you get to watch some yoga?
Yeah, we'll get one.
Oh, like practice availability?
One practice
Oh,
availability,
okay.
and we'll watch indies.
Indies?
Yeah,
You're gonna get indies?
Yeah, we see indies during fall camp.
Indies?
Yeah, but they do it all. What's that? Offense, defensive line, edge rushers, defensive or linebackers, safeties, quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, special teams. So there's 10 groups, and they spread them out all over those two fields. And you can only walk halfway down one of the fields.
Yeah. That's how it was when I went.
Do you remember the look on the people's face, the media members' faces that were very clearly like covering Georgia for the first time in the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, the Florida State media.
When they went down there for
Notre Dame.
When they went for open period and everyone was like, it's gonna be yoga, guys, watch this. And we get there and some of the beat reporters that I think were just there like covering the Sugar Bowl were like, what the hell is this? They're doing yoga. They're not practicing.
My favorite media, wait, he does this to y'all moment was Florida State in the Orange Bowl. And the Florida State media was there for practice availability for Georgia, and they're like, why are y'all acting like this is like y'all are a bunch of homeless people out in front of the food shelter and they just threw a bunch of McDonald's on the ground? Like, what is up with this? Why are y'all acting like this? And we're like, buddy, we've gotten 3 availabilities all year. And they thought they couldn't wrap their head around it, and now they're in the same boat down at Florida State. Mike Norvell's like, y'all get the hell out of here.
It's really bad too if it's like your first time going to practice availability like I was in the spring because you don't know what really to do and you get like 10 minutes to just try and get everything that you can, and so you're just running around doing anything and everything. And then you're like, oh, crap, I need to be paying attention to what's actually happening.
10 minutes in the last 50 seconds is them shooing you out.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, we got to go. Come on, get out of here.
Got to go. All right, enough complaining about access there. What are some questions you want answered about this roster after the Marshall and Austin Peay games?
I've got a couple.
I've got 10.
First one I want, like, what is – I've got –
Can I go my Tennessee if you missed? If you got anything that I missed?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to swallow all of this. Hey, yo. Number 10, do any of the freshman offensive weapons get real burn? I'm not talking about like we're up 40, late fourth quarter, all the backups are in. I'm talking about, is a freshman offensive weapon very clearly in the rotation with the ones? Whether that be C.J. Wiley, Taylor, Ellis Robinson, or Ethan Barbour. One of them, or Juan Gaston, but that's not a weapon. I'm talking about the weapons. One of them getting any type of burn. That's the number one question for me. Number 9, who's playing safety? Just simple put. What's the rotation there? Number 8, do you handle it enough? Oh, do you handle the football games enough to get Ryan Puglisi real burn? I want to see that.
That's important.
Number 7, what's the corner rotation look like?
Yep.
Give me some of that. Number 6, how much of a run game did they actually install for Gunnar Stockton?
Oh,
I believe that though we're not going to show the bells and whistles in those first 2 mop-up duty games, we're going to show week 1 basic install.
yeah.
We're going to show the roots of our system. Do the roots of your system include Gunnar Stockton's legs, particularly on short yardage? I'm very inquisitive about that. Number 5, what does the offensive identity as a whole look like? Are they back to being a play-action-based passing game? They were not the last 2 years. I thought they were traditional from the pocket 3-step, 5-step, 7-step passing game. They were not a play-action rollout football team the last 2 years. Are they going to get back to that? I'm curious. Number 4, how much of a leap did KJ Bolden make in year 2? Physically and leadership-wise and play style? Are you more impactful of a football player?
The physical one's going to be the one I'm more interested to see because, I mean, there were times last year it was like, you're playing SEC ball. No offense to him because he played great, but just like did not look the part at times.
I want to walk up on KJ Bolden this year and go, damn, he thick. Number 2.
Excuse me?
Number 3, how much of an impact will Elijah Griffin make on this roster?
Yeah.
It's a big question.
I think we'll learn that in the first 2 weeks. Number 2, who is the best 5 up front, offensive line-wise? What you guys got going on up there? Number 1, how are they rotating the wide receivers? Are you playing 2X system?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, raise your hand if you're in favor of the 2X system this year for Georgia. Has the chat got their hands up? I hope they do. 2X system this year at Georgia. Don't be pansies about it. Play them both.
We've got a Super Chub if you want to go ahead and hit that.
Shout out to the Super Chub. This comes from Colin Stevens. He says, could D'or having a type pocket passer QB be good news for Georgia? When's the last time Georgia Kirby lost to a true pocket passer that wasn't also an elite athlete? Keep up the good work. Best college football content available by far. Is my man on the board, by the way?
Colin
I don't
Stevens.
think so.
Let's get Colin Stevens up on the board and let's answer this question. Okay.
Elite pocket passer who wasn't an elite athlete.
I think your best.
My immediate thought process goes to Burrow. People will say he's an elite athlete.
I wouldn't put him an elite athlete.
I would say
I would
Bryce
put him in
Young.
serviceable. That's what I classify as a serviceable athlete at the position today.
I'd go
By the way,
Bryce
that's
Young.
the baseline. I don't think you can be anything less than that and be an elite quarterback.
Bryce Young's a good shout too. That's kind
Bryce-
of like similar territory.
Bryce Young in 21 darted you up and did just enough offensively to within the pocket and athletically with his legs. To
What
give
was
you
Colin's last name?
Stevens? STEPHENS.
PHEN?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
No
you,
F.
Colin. It's a great question as well. But to your point, Colin, I mean, he hasn't been beaten by a pocket passer other than Burrow.
In fairness.
Which I would say most of Burrow's damage explosively was outside the pocket in that football game. Making guys like Trayvon Walker miss, running
If
away
you
from
also
Lewis
want to
Seen.
get super technical on it, I don't think Jackson Dart used his legs a ton in that Ole Miss game, but he was not a
from
traditional.
beat you from the pocket standpoint?
Yes,
I think the defense beat you at Ole Miss.
That's-
I think Ole Miss's defense beat you.
1,000% true. But
Yeah.
Will Rogers, he should
Didn't beat you,
but he could have.
but didn't.
That
Didn't
wasn't
get
the
the dub.
question.
And to this day,
Answer
if
the
we had
prompt.
Will Rogers on this stage right now, you say, what's the best you've ever played in your life? He's going to say freshman year on the road at Athens. I was unconscious, Brooks. I'm like, I know, I watched it. I watched it. You were
But, I mean,
unconscious.
To the fairness of that, Georgia hasn't lost a lot in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's the overarching point is like nobody really beats you.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I mean,
one
it's
specific player.
It's the Brock Bowers busting with the boys clip.
Yeah.
Of, you only lost.
you only lost
two games in 3 years
Crazy.
to one team.
But no, do you have questions that?
Yeah, there's two of mine that you didn't hit. The first one, is the offense as explosive as we thought it was going to be this year?
Yeah.
If you're going to be explosive, you better do it against these first two teams. Like, if you're not explosive against Marshall and whoever the other opponent is, I mean, I just don't know if it's going to be there unless there's like a timing issue or it seems like something that you're kind of building into. You better be explosive against those two teams. I think it should be something that you immediately pick up on. And then number 2, did the transfer portal additions pay off? Are you going to get a good return on investment this year from those acquisitions? I'm not saying that every single one of them has to be a hit in the first year because some of them could be here multiple years, but I'm talking about guys that you know for a fact are going to be contributors this year. The Noah Thomases, the Zachariah Branches, the Zion Branches, the Elo Medozis. Those people, are you going to get a return on investment on those guys in this year? Are they going to bang like you think they will?
Yeah, so that wasn't even that bad. You had like 3 of them during your spiel.
Oh, buddy, we almost had the world's worst "Hey Yo" Diddy moment on film study the other day. I said something about like, look at him. He's got 4 dudes hanging all over him, and he's still about to stroke it. I was this close to saying that.
That's
and I
terrible.
stopped
And now
myself.
you did.
Myself.
That was the whole point of the Diddy counter, just to keep you aware of what you were saying.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had an executive tell me the other day, you need to stop swearing. And I'm like, when I get on that board, man, I just black out. I just black out.
Black out.
I black out in the content. I black out in the vibes. I just black out in the ball. You know?
Breaking news, film guy can't work unless he's blacked out.
Breaking news, film guy, been sober 3 years, admits to being constantly blacked out.
But no, Jay, well, you had a good one with, who pays off in the transfer. Well, I had one similar. Who's as advertised? I feel like we've heard a lot about, hey, this player looks really good. This player had a really good spring. Colby Young kind of stole the show in the spring game. We've seen the spring game hero might not always be the best indicator to what
it's like the Madden curse.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
honestly.
So I mean, that's kind of one of the worries. Like, who, in my opinion, who's as advertised? Whether that be recruits, transfers, Gunnar Stockton. That's one of my questions. Like you said, I want to know what the scheme looks like offensively. It's a different quarterback. There's been a lot of talk about how, Kirby's going to get back to his old ways, and there's going to be a lot of readjusting the scheme. What does that look like? I feel like we'll get a good idea of that in 2 games. Next question I have, no one hit on this. Who's the freshman sensation? The freshman sensation has always seemingly exploded or introduced themselves within the first 3 weeks of the schedule.
Yeah.
There's
Sometimes
two different ones.
Sometimes it happens week 1. Sometimes, it's your Malachi Starks, it's your Nate Frazier. With the exception of CJ Allen, I feel like the last 4 or 5, hey, that's our true freshman, that's the best player on our team. They've all been within the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Who's going to do that this year? That's my question.
There's always 2 types of freshman stardoms at Georgia. There's the ones that you just mentioned, the one where it's like week 1, we know for a fact that we've got a dude.
KJ's tackle on Phil Moffitt was like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
yes,
like there's
that
ones
was
that
that
you know
one.
immediately, and then there's other ones like Chris Cole or like CJ Allen was
That
his
slow
freshman
build.
year. Like halfway through the year, they finally get pushed into the lineup. It's like, all right, let's see what you got.
Most of the time due to injury, too.
Yeah, things like that, and you're like, okay, this guy's gonna be a really good football player for you. So there's 2 different types.
Yeah. My final
Who's your guess for who that's going to be? My immediate brain goes to Elijah Griffin and Isaiah Gibson.
So
Yeah,
it's
for
not
immediate ones.
Yeah.
it's not going to be like the sexy whoa, he jumped out of nowhere, because it's not a player, it's not a position of stardom. But I think Juan Gaston has the opportunity to you look up in week 4 and go, oh, that's a true freshman, that's a true starter for us right now. Number 1 rotation. Now, obviously, that's not sexy like a KJ Bolden or a Brock Bowers or someone that's going to be, touching the football or around it, making plays. But I think Juan Gaston might be your best freshman this year. But my final question that I'm going to need answered before the first real game of the season against Tennessee in week 3, does this offense get past slow starts? Let me read you some stats from last year's Power 4 against Power 4 opponents. In the first half, Georgia scored 6 points against Clemson, 3 points against Kentucky, 7 against Alabama, 14 against Auburn, 27 against Mississippi State, 23 against Texas. Getting better. Back down to 6 against Florida, 7 against Ole Miss, 17 against Tennessee, 0 against Georgia Tech, 3 against Texas in the rematch, and 3 against Notre Dame. You're not going to win a lot of games if you're getting held to single digits in the first 30 minutes of play. That's just a fact. I don't care what the offense looks like necessarily. I don't care who the players are. I don't really care as much what the scheme is. I just want to know, can you run the ball down people's throats and get on the board quickly? I don't want to see this, hey, it takes us 3 or 4 drives for us to get to the end zone. We got to get punched in the mouth before we can score. Just score fast. That's one of my biggest questions for Georgia's offense this year.
Also, I don't care if UMass comes down here with a brand new football coach that you've never heard of and an offense that you've never seen, but a mid-major football team should not rush for 250 yards against Georgia.
Big facts.
Should just not happen. So that better not happen in the first 2 weeks of the football season.
No, it should not. But
Wasn't it 250?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a
now,
lot.
It was busted plays, but it was a lot.
Don't care.
It was a lot.
Shouldn't happen.
No, I completely agree. But no, like I do not want to see like, okay, Georgia's got a 14-3 lead over Marshall in the first half. Like this needs to be 28-0 quickly.
226.
226. All right. Time for heated debates.
Oh, I like this.
Now, I didn't format this to you guys in pre-show, but I want you guys to pick a side of this debate, and you have to argue for why your side is the right
I
side.
feel like me and Jay are going to be agreeing on a good bit of these, though.
Well,
We shall see.
if you're too
So I'm
much
gonna have
of,
to play- I'm
if
gonna-
you're too much of a cohesive party, I'll get in there and be a stir.
This is going to be like one of those debate topics in school where it's like you're this side, you have to argue this side,
Correct.
even though you might not necessarily believe it.
Debate team.
All right.
This is how these nerds did it, I was told. So here we go. Tougher road game. There's only 3 of them this year. And one of them's Mississippi State. So tougher road
them
game.
cowbells are loud, man.
Tougher road game. Tennessee or Auburn. I'll give you the opportunity this round. We got 3 of these rounds. Jonathan, you get the opportunity to picking which side you want.
Your Honor, I would like to present the stance that the Auburn Tigers are the tougher road game for the 2025 college football season for the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, you name any stadium in the SEC that'll make a Georgia fan's butthole pucker up real tight more than Jordan-Hare will. I mean, the history is there. It almost happened 2 years ago when you had a really good football team, a team that made the conference championship. They almost got you with Peyton Thorne as a quarterback. Hugh Freeze is still the head football coach. I know that the Auburn Tigers maybe aren't rolling and building steam too much, but neither is Tennessee. Jordan-Hare will always be a road game that you always circle as a Georgia fan. I don't care if they're 0-12 when you play them, if they're winless, or if they're undefeated. You will always circle that game on your calendar no matter what.
For the audience at home, I would like to short and sweet and concise that message. Auburn, Jordan-Hare, voodoo. What do you got for me?
All right. Your Honor, I wholeheartedly believe this argument that I'm about to give you. By the time Gunnar Stockton walks into Jordan-Hare Stadium, he will have played the Alabama Crimson Tide. He will have traveled to Knoxville, Tennessee. He will have 5 or 6 starts under his belt. He will be, at this point, an experienced quarterback. The Georgia Bulldogs, as a roster, will be an experienced team. They will not be this in week 3 when they walk into Neyland Stadium with a very rabid, very wound-up Tennessee team that is tired of losing 8 straight games to the Georgia Bulldogs. This is going to be one of their best opportunities to do so, and we've seen how hectic that Neyland Stadium crowd can be. It'll be the first SEC matchup of the season. It'll be Gunnar Stockton's first start on the road, despite the fact that he's playing college football playoff games. I believe the Tennessee Volunteers in Neyland Stadium is the hardest environment on the road.
As the completely unbiased court judge here, side with Kirby because I totally agree. It's Tennessee.
Whoa! I did not expect to catch a dub on that one.
I mean, it's the first one. And, by the way, way louder.
You have
Been to both, been on the field at both. Tennessee, loudest stadium I've been to so far. Haven't been to LSU yet. However, that voodoo be crazy.
Sir, might I add
That voodoo be crazy. That voodoo.
there are things that you can do to go against crowd noise. There's things that you can change. There's nothing you can do about voodoo magic, though.
Can't practice voodoo inside the
can't
house
do
of
it.
pain, can
Sir,
we?
sir, the judge has made his ruling. The argument is over.
It is decided. Knoxville,
Y'all
Tennessee.
scared of Joey Aguilar.
And the precedence of it being first.
Yeah, because Josh Heupel's offense has ever given Kirby Smart fits.
Ooh. It's a little post-game action right there. Hey, he chased you into the tunnel.
I'm just happy I caught the dub on
He
that.
chased you into
I
the
was
tunnel.
going to say it's Auburn as well, but
He
you
said,
know
come
what?
see about me. Tougher home game. The Texas Longhorns or the Alabama Crimson Tide. Kirby, which side would you like to defend?
Your Honor, Georgia has beaten Texas twice in the last 2 times that they've played them.
Scrubs!
Take that. On the other side, you look at the Alabama Crimson Tide, a team Georgia has beaten once in the last 10 meetings.
Daddy.
The last 2 times the Alabama Crimson Tide has traveled to Sanford Stadium, though it has taken place over the span of 15 years, Alabama has walked out with 2-score victories each time.
Caked up.
Jonathan, my opponent, wants to talk about voodoo. Let's be honest. There's some Alabama voodoo going on for the Georgia Bulldogs here. The Alabama Crimson Tide are the toughest home opponent for the Georgia Bulldogs. They are Georgia's toughest opponent until further notice.
Should have dropped a bar none on that one. It is decided. Don't even need to hear the other side of the case. Alabama, but I would like to hear it. Why Texas? Arch be good?
Well, I think that when you combine 2 aspects of Steve Sarkisian as one of the best offensive play callers in college football, he's faced Kirby Smart twice now. That's 2 games full of film that he can dissect this upcoming season because you know
third time's charm.
Sarkisian's going to put something together. I mean, if he doesn't have this game circled on his schedule because it's only one of the biggest games on his schedule, he gets a pretty cupcake one this year in the SEC yet again.
Big Facts gets to load up.
This one he really gets to prepare for. So if you don't think that he can really scheme something up if he wants to, on top of that, we believe that he is going to have better quarterback play this year. Still got some dudes on defense this year as well. I mean, come on.
I know as Honorable Judge Brooks here, I'm not supposed to help your case, but he gets a bye week before his. Just going to let you know.
Doesn't Bama get a bye week too?
Yeah, they do.
get a
But,
bye
hey,
week.
mutual bye is still a bye. He gets a bye. You don't.
Shit, dude, I'm losing the next argument.
I think it is decided. Alabama, tougher home game.
Yeah.
All right, we're good
I
there.
will concur.
Toughest neutral site game. First coin flip here. This is a good side to have the opportunity to pick which side first. Georgia Tech or Florida. The board is yours, Jonathan.
Well, this is a real tough one, but after my analysis, after my deep dive into history, and after a prayer to the good man upstairs, I have landed with the Florida Gators as the
I thought bro was
toughest
about to commit.
neutral site. As the
For the next 3 to 4 years.
I would like to thank my family, my mother,
Really appreciative of all of my coaches and my little sister. You're my rock.
I've landed with the Florida Gators because I understand that there was some trouble last year when Georgia faced Georgia Tech, but I mean, one, the history of Mercedes-Benz has been on Georgia's side for the most part there. So, and I think that they'll be more prepared for that football game this year.
Get right game on little bro.
Plus, like, if you want, again, we kind of got into this conversation earlier. You want to talk about the types of quarterbacks that have given a Kirby Smart defense issues. It's what DJ Lagway is. His ability to escape out of the pocket, create explosive plays. I mean, that's what he does best is throw kill shots. He threw one last year against Georgia before he got injured. So I think that him being the quarterback there, and then also Florida's run game. I think they'll be able to be multiple on offense this year. So I think that the matchup against Florida at the neutral site is going to be tough. Plus, you hadn't beat them. You hadn't lost them in a long time. History and rivalry kind of tilting a little bit.
Your Honor, I'd like to call a 30 to 40 second recess so I can better formulate an argument for this.
That is allowed.
All right, let me think. Let me put my thinking brain on.
How was your day today, Jonathan?
It was pretty solid.
I got to tell you right now that it's off the record and we're in our chambers together, you are waxing his ass right about now. in
Thank
this here
you.
debate.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, it's 1-to-1, but it don't feel like it feels like a slanted 1-to-1. I mean,
know,
we got man out here calling for recess.
Yeah.
Didn't he get enough?
I
All right,
came
I'm back to my
prepared.
recess, Your Honor. Also, the record's it's 2-0 right now.
Oh, it's 2-0. My bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you had plenty of time to rest up and get ready for this debate last week.
I didn't know there was gonna be. All right,
What do
whatever.
you got for me?
All right. So the argument that I fully believe that
Filibuster Faulkner, am I right?
that the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets meeting with the Georgia Bulldogs in Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be a tougher neutral site opponent for Georgia. Here's my basic analysis of this. Last season, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets suffered what I would say is probably their most heartbreaking defeat in 20 years. Like, that is how disappointing it was for Georgia Tech. You had a top 5 ranked opponent, your in-state rival, big brother. You had him, and you drug him into 8 overtimes, and you lost that game. The entire 2025 season, I feel like, for Georgia Tech is going to revolve around being vindicated in Atlanta against the Georgia Bulldogs, a team that will have just gone through an absolute gauntlet of an SEC schedule. I'm saying that Georgia Tech has Georgia's number here. It's going to make it a tough environment. By the way, it's a very localized game for Georgia Tech fans.
You know that scene in The Longest Yard where Billy Bob Thornton's like, hey, man, they say a tie is kind of like kissing your sister, but for you guys, it's a really hot stepsister. That's how I feel about Georgia Tech's close loss last year. I don't think they left all woe is me.
Oh.
Dang, that hurt. I think they left thinking we just went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the nation. We're on the verge. You know what I mean?
I was
stepsister, not the other way around.
I got to be in the stands for that game, walking out with the Georgia Tech fans that were shouting, profanity, obscenities, cheering when Georgia fans were leaving with 5 minutes left. They were very upset after that.
Were
game.
they?
Oh my God, they were so
Okay.
mad, dude.
So they think higher of their program.
Imagine you haven't beaten Alabama in 10 years. You played them every year, haven't beaten them. You're up 2 scores with 5 minutes left in Bryant-Denny, and Alabama fans are leaving. Alabama then comes back, forces 8 overtimes, and beats you. That's where Georgia Tech fans were.
You stormed back from 28-0
But
in their stadium.
your Georgia and
then
your
Ryan
season
Williams
was over
happened,
already.
So it did kind of happen. Just not 8 OTs.
And Georgia fans were very upset after that.
Yeah, they were. But
They
that's
weren't.
That's not as little bro as this one. This is so little bro, big bro. Like, we're a lesser than football program. I guess it does hurt that much worse because you actually had a chance to get them.
But yeah, no. To 9-10's point, no, I don't believe in what I'm saying. Obviously, the Florida Gators are the tougher neutral site game. I had to.
He folded on his own argument.
Man.
You were gonna vote for him anyways. I conceded. There's nothing there, dude.
Hey, 2-1, take the win though.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Ain't no wrong with Silver.
I did not expect to win Tennessee. I will say that.
Well, I just a little implicit bias here. I think Tennessee is the tougher game.
I feel like I got some good points.
I think
though.
Auburn's the better football team. I think that first road game though is gonna.
You think Auburn's a better football team than Tennessee
on
this
paper,
year?
yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
What happened to the stance of ain't ever going to pick them until you beat them?
Oh, I ain't picking them to win the game. I think Georgia wins both football games. I think the Tennessee games can be closer. I think, how did I write it down? I think Auburn has a chance to out-offense Georgia better than Tennessee has a chance to out-defense Georgia. You
That's
know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see Georgia losing a game to Auburn 35-31. I could not see Georgia losing a game to Tennessee 17-14.
Yeah.
Just can't. So that's the way I've kind of gone there. All right, do we have nostalgia tape ready?
I
Can we
didn't
get
know that I was
nostalgia tape
supposed
ready?
to.
Yeah, we could actually.
Let's just grab one. La 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 la. I'm not a mouth reader either. Lip reader, mouth reader, lip reader.
I mean, it's the same thing. Reading lips, reading mouths.
I think that would be a really useful skill set though. To be able to read lips.
Yeah.
You'd always catch people talking shit.
The deaf people probably have to do people who had hearing and then went deaf probably do it pretty well.
Probably really good at it.
Is that a superpower?
Reading lips?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't count as a superpower. It's just like a really cool trick, like being able to count cards. It's not a superpower.
Some would argue that's a superpower.
Well, no, it's not a superpower because you can get arrested for it.
You don't get arrested for it. It's not illegal.
You can go to jail for counting cards. You can't?
Casinos can ask you to
Then
leave.
why aren't people just out here Rainmaning the hell out of casinos left and right?
Because, there's 8 decks in a hand. And,
Oh, so it's gotten almost impossible to
yeah,
count cards
casino,
nowadays?
the house always wins isn't just a saying. There's reasons why. You got to count 8 decks worth of cards to be okay. And then there's cut, and then
Do
there's
you have
shuffle.
nostalgic tape ready?
We do.
Let's do it.
It's a time-relevant nostalgic take, too.
Yeah?
We'll see. It's older. He played for Kirby Smart.
Huh. That's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Playing against the option. Got real funky ankles right here.
Funky ankle.
Oh, that's Lorenzo Carter.
It is Lorenzo
I played
Carter.
against him. You might see me on this highlight tape. That's against Greater Atlanta Christian. Or no, excuse me, that's Saka. That's where Dwight Howard played high school basketball. This is Landmark Christian. I am on this tape.
Where were you? You the center?
I'm probably playing defense until the fourth quarter. And then I started playing both ways. Yeah, that's my high school.
Hell yeah. Lorenzo obviously retired today after a nice.
That's my boy Cantrell Frazier right there. That's a dude. Went down to Savannah. What's the HBCU down there?
Oh, Savannah State?
Savannah State. Went down to Savannah State. Yeah, we know. Y'all beating our ass. We know. Actually, we're up 13-10. Y'all lost that game. Big dubs in the chat.
But no, I figured this would be a good nostalgia tape because his retirement.
What
announcement
was
today.
really, really fun to watch from Lorenzo in high school, that looks like us again, too. What's really, really fun, that's actually Mount Arabia. What's really, really fun to watch from him from high school at Whitfield is his basketball stuff. That's why he was at Whitfield in the first place, because they were a big hoop school. And he was a hooper.
Yeah.
He had no business playing for Whitfield. Finished his career at Norcross.
It's so weird how old high school tape from like 10 years ago looks now. Like, this looks like 90s football.
Yeah, it does. Him playing off-ball linebacker is so crazy.
Yeah, this is just, hey, you're the best.
Just go find it.
You're the best athlete on the team. Just go tackle
Just go
someone,
find it.
dude.
I'm trying to see some more here just in case
I mean, he's in a wide receiver
big-
stance in line.
in case a big stumpy 77 from Landmark pops up on the tape getting done up by Lorenzo Carter right quick. Because there was a clip I remember. That's Strong Rock, not Arabia Mountain.
Definitely developed a ton.
Yeah, I'd say. Now we're actually having our hand in the ground here, just kind of catching. The Norcross tape's even better than the Whitfield tape. I'm surprised y'all found the Whitfield tape. This is a very young Lorenzo Carter.
Yeah, this is probably like 2012, 2013.
It had to be. He's a 12 graduate, wasn't he?
He class of 2014, so.
Okay. So he's younger than me? Huh. All right. That's fun.
Shout out Lorenzo Carter.
Man, he cut across my face on a goal line rep. Oof. That was not good.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 guys that I never want to see.
Yeah.
Ever. That's one of them. D'Angelo Brown's one of them. Dylan Donahue from West Georgia, I want no parts of ever.
There's a couple of those guys.
That was one of those years where West Georgia had more draft picks than Georgia. Do y'all remember that happening?
This was 2016, wasn't it?
2015?
It would have been 20. It was Kirby Smart's first year. The only player drafted was like Isaiah McKenzie in the 4th round.
West Georgia had an edge rusher drafted, Dylan Donahue, and the fullback drafted by the Panthers.
Yeah, that's
Apparently we forgot a Super Chub.
Oh, dang.
Oh, it's
I'll
on
find
us.
it.
We got a minute.
Let's get to these fan fundings. Colin Shepard and Dustin Tyson we missed, right? No, we got Colin Stevens, my bad.
Yeah.
Dustin Tyson we missed. What's up, guys? Which business model wins more natties? Kirby's relationship over transactions or Texas buying the best? Tyler Axon, Justice Terry, Cooper, etc. Love the show. I think the jury's still out. Right now, the only example of we bought a really good class is the one class that A&M did, and we all know what happened there. But I don't think anybody is putting Steve Sarkisian in any circle with Jimbo Fisher. Okay.
There's also no evidence to say who didn't buy what.
Yeah.
Because back in the day when these were all under the table deals, you were buying classes. It just wasn't. They're dropping $30 million.
Yeah. I think the Texas thing's gonna work.
It seems like it.
I would say the Texas thing is working. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're as well positioned as any football program in the country right now.
Yeah.
I do have an interesting question
What's
for
up?
us. No, we'll do this on Thursday.
And I want to do it right now.
No, dude,
No, I want to do it right now.
It's a good debate.
Gun to the head, got to do it
You're
now.
gonna want topics for Thursday.
You're
Trust.
right. You're right.
Don't blow it all.
Big trust. Appreciate you guys for being here. You know who we got tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
We got Caleb Downs on the channel tomorrow. It's gonna be fun.
Film study, right?
It's gonna be FUN fun. No, he's gonna be sitting down right here in the studio.
Sick.
Breaking
Shout out Caleb
news.
Downs.
He's gonna skip out on his Big Ten media appearance and come to us.
Never skip.
I would
out
do
on
it.
Vegas. I would never skip out on a Vegas trip.
Yeah, they are
No,
in
he's
Vegas.
flying private over here tomorrow.
Wow.
Right into Athens Regional Air Force Base, and then Jonathan's picking him up in the Jeep.
In the Jeep with no AC
Yeah, with no AC.
for a 45
He
minute
would never
drive.
come back.
He'd never come back.
He would never return.
Appreciate y'all for being here. Hit that thumbs up.